an ATC for Toronto Airport, International Airport, please.
Transat 382, Toronto, say passing altitude and squawk ident.
Toronto Center, altitude descending 16,000 for 5,000 feet.
Transat 382, heavy, Toronto, thank you. Identify descending through 16,000, descend 12,000. Toronto, landing runway 06 right.
Landing runway 06 right for Transat 382.
If I could actually get this ATIS out here, that'd be great. Hey everybody, welcome to the stream. Just trying to get myself all up and running here. All right, I think we got an ATIS here. All right, I got an ATIS. We got a bunch of airplanes doing stuff here. And I got a bunch of people inbound to Toronto, so I got to ping them and make sure they're all coming in to the right place here because there's a lot of stuff going on. All right, but like I literally just sat down and there's a whole whack load of stuff going on here, so I'm trying to sort of get my head wrapped around it here. I was just trying to get an ATIS and get some NOTAMs going here. Oh.
Good day, it's Jazz 910 descending 17,000.
Jazz 910 Toronto, good day, squawk ident.
Okay, Jazz 910 squawk ident, and we're planning 6 right, and we've kind of disregarded the star restrictions here. Previous controller logged off.
All right, Jazz 910, didn't know there was a previous controller because I just sat down, but you can descend now 7,000 and plan on 06 right.
7,000, 6 right, thanks, Jazz 910.
Toronto Center, hello, United 001, passing flight level 250, climbing 300.
United 251, hold on, I just got to find you here.
No, negative, United 001.
Ah, United 001, there you are. Squawk 0545.
0545, United 1.
Transat 382, contact arrival now, 132.8.
132.8, Air Transat 382, bye-bye.
Jazz 910, contact arrival now, 132.8.
32.8, thanks, Jazz 910.
Alpha Mike Bravo, contact the terminal now, 132.8.
32.8, Alpha Mike Bravo.
All right. Now we sort of got stuff going here. United 001 Toronto identified at 27.5. Continue climb flight level 300.
Continue to climb 300, altitude check, United 1.
All right, so just as I logged on, we got an arrival controller as well, which kind of mixed blessing. It's good, but it's bad. It's good, but it's bad. Yeah, so now I've got to pull up some information for Kitchener here. I mean, it's good because like I was very quickly overwhelmed with just all the stuff that was going on here, and people started calling me before I'd even kind of looked at what the ATIS was going to be or anything. Let's see here, 3:30 at 9 gust 15. So let's do Kitchener. Kitchener, let's see here. Runway 32. 2, assuming that there's no construction. So let me add Kitchener to my list of search airports here for NOTAMs. All right. Just looking here, sorry, 26 non-standard markings. That's about it. Okay, perfect. And so let's do this. I'm just searching for charts now as well. It's just like, when you just sit down and there's all sorts of stuff going on, and you know, it's a hobby. You're not like, a lot of stuff is not memorized. Golf Alpha Tango X-ray, Information Alpha just went up for Kitchener. It's runway 32.
Roger, runway 32 will be good for the RNAV. Golf Alpha Tango X-ray.
Golf Alpha Tango X-ray, perfect. I'll have a turn for you. Actually, Golf Alpha Tango X-ray after Olamo. Go direct NUDIB.
After Olamo, direct NUDIB. Golf Alpha Tango X-ray.
Okay, so there's stuff going on there, but we got an arrival controller. He's kind of keeping track of stuff. United 001 Toronto. The information in Toronto is now Alpha. Runway 06 right for arrivals.
We have Alpha and copy 06 right, you know.
United 1, when ready, descend flight level 240.
When ready, 240, you know what.
And there is a line of weather. Pardon me, sorry. There's a line of weather just kind of on the west side of Peterborough here. And United 001, there is a line of thunderstorms. There's a SIGMET out for it about your, I think it's going to be just south of your route for at about 50 miles, but let me know if you do need to deviate.
We'll call, you know what.
Unfortunately, I have no way of overlaying that onto my radar screen, which makes it challenging. All right, so there's all the Toronto NOTAMs. That's fine. All right, in the meantime, I can now start looking a little farther afield here. Let's see here. That's what I'm looking for. You and you. What happened to my... Huh. What happened to my... I was starting up a TeamSpeak window and it never opened. It was running an update, I guess, and then it maybe didn't like the update. I don't know. There it is. It's there now. All right, anywho, yeah, so I think we got mostly everything under control at this point now. All right, if I give him direct NUDIB, what does it look like just from here? I mean, there's no point because pretty much Labo is going to take him exactly where he needs to go, but I just need to see where NUDIB is. Okay, perfect, yeah. Golf Alpha Tango X-ray Toronto, when ready, descend 3000.
Descend 3000, pilot discretion, Golf Alpha Tango X-ray.
Alpha Tango X-ray, roger. The altimeter Kitchener is, or Waterloo is 2993. Kitchener, Waterloo.
2993, Alpha Tango X-ray.
All right, so he's turning. United should be starting down shortly here. There we go. United 001 Toronto, continue descent 12, 2000. The Toronto altimeter is 2989er.
2989 12,000, you know what.
All right, and there we go. So we kind of got ourselves up and running here. Nuclear Jet 748, good evening. Welcome to the stream and welcome to another evening in Toronto. And it is Friday, I believe. Is it Friday? I think it's Friday. I never know. Yes, it is Friday, so hopefully it'll be a little bit busy here this evening. I'm not going to be doing an epic 5-hour stream tonight, but I will try and give you 3 hours of ATC joy here. And it looks like it's going to be a bit of an interesting evening with just a small line of thunderstorms just on the east side of Toronto here, just right around Peterborough. So right about here, there's a line of about 4 or 5 cells that definitely substantial enough that people are going to want to go around them if they are in their vicinity. Uh, so it should make things a little bit interesting. Literally, as I logged on, an arrival controller logged on as well. So thought we were going to be dealing with arrivals as well, but apparently we're not. Apparently we're just doing the en route control today, which is a little bit more boring. But what are you going to do? That's the way it is sometimes. Arriving Kitchener shortly. Oh, okay. Is that you? Ah, okay. I get it now. Ah. See, I never recognize voices through the radio anymore, and nobody bloody puts their call sign anymore. So some people do. I didn't even realize that was. Okay, I see. You guys are all having a party down there. I guess you were supporting the tower controller down at City, whoever it was. I don't even know who it is. Oh, it's Tower Controller Toronto now. And nobody knows who it is because nobody actually uses names anymore for some reason in this FIR, which I've never understood that. I've just never understood that mentality against names. Everyone just uses a random assortment of numbers to identify themselves on the network. And where's the joy in that? Part of the beauty of this network is getting to know people, and you don't get to know people if you're just a number, if you're not a name. So I really, well, I can't stand this whole like trend towards this trend towards people just logging in with just their number and not their name anymore. I mean, I get it when there are privacy issues at stake and maybe people are worried about being identified potentially, but yeah, just in general, I think it's a silly trend anyways. Alpha Tango X-Ray Toronto, you're cleared the Kitchener-Waterloo Airport. RNAV runway 32, NUDIB transition.
Cleared RNAV runway 32 approach into Kitchener-Waterloo, NUDIB transition, Alpha Tango X-Ray.
All right, and that makes me think of the fact that I do need a... Nope, that's not what I need. I need a ground view for Kitchener coming up here. Yeah. This should be it. There it is. Perfect. Love it. All right. Gotta make sure that I have my mute button handy, because I still do have a bit of a lingering cough from the other day. So anybody who caught my last flight stream, and it was, what day was it? Wednesday last week, I think. I was a little bit sick during that stream. I had a sore throat that I was just getting over. At least I thought I was. It turned out I got worse at the end of that day. I didn't even get better. I got worse. Yeah, yeah, I am still just getting over that. I still have a little bit of a lingering cough. It's not bad now, but it still is lingering a little bit. But it really kind of, I was feeling a lot better during my stream, and then after my stream, I started to spike a fever. I actually got a lot worse for about a day, and then I've managed to get better after another day. But yeah, maybe it was a mistake to stream that day. I thought I was reasonably healthy. I coughed a little bit, but I wasn't too bad. But then yeah, I seemed to take a turn.
Alpha Mike Bravo, about 5 minutes from Waterloo, looking for enter the zone. Full stop.
Alpha Mike Bravo, hello again. Runway 32 in Waterloo. The altimeter 29903, information Alpha. Continue inbound. You can join the right base for runway 32. You're number 2 to a Pilatus. That's about a 10-mile final for 32.
All right, we'll pick up Alpha. We'll plan the right base, runway 32, and we'll keep an eye out for the traffic there. I think we got him about I think 10 o'clock or so.
Yeah, Alpha Mike Bravo. He's at about your 10 o'clock right now, just descending through 3,000 feet, 6 miles.
And I see the lights. I got him inside, Alpha Mike Bravo.
Alpha Mike Bravo, thanks. Arrange your flight to follow. I think Kitchener is one of the only places I don't get live RVR, if I recall. Let's just have a quick look here. Or do I? I think Kitchener is like the only place in Ontario that I don't get live RVR and I don't get live winds. So it's all just whatever it is in the matter. Alpha Tango X-Ray Toronto, number 1. Winds are 340, 9 gust 15. Clear to land, runway 32.
Clear to land 32, Alpha Tango X-Ray.
It's already getting busy here. All right, we're getting a conflict alert here, but And Alpha Tango X-Ray, just for your information, there is a beach bonanza off at about your 2 o'clock for 6 miles. He's going to follow you in for runway 32. He's down at or he's at 3,000 right now.
Roger, thanks. Alpha Tango X-Ray.
All right, there we go. We got ourselves all set up though, and yeah. I'm looking forward to my next flight stream because I got so much stuff to talk about now.
Hello, it's Live Flight 1 Medevac.
Life Flight 1 Medevac Toronto, hello.
Live Flight 1 Medevac, we're about 15 miles east of Waterloo at 1,500 Lot Depot City, inbound to land the apron.
Life Flight 1 Toronto, information in Kitchener is Alpha, the altimeter 299.4, the wind's now showing 320 at 7. You can continue to wreck the threshold of runway 32. Right now you're number 3, but I don't think you'll have any delay.
Okay, we'll direct the threshold down runway 32, Live Flight 1.
Yeah, the first half of the summer, first summers was pretty boring. And then the last 2 weeks or so, all of a sudden, the number of interesting announcements that have come out, it really has just kind of just tons and tons of interesting stuff happening all of a sudden. But yeah, the first half of the summer was there was not much to talk about, and now all of a sudden it's taken a big change. There's more stuff than I'll probably have time to talk about in my next flight stream. But United 001, contact Toronto arrival now 132.8. Good day.
32.8 to Unit 1. Bye-bye.
And Toronto Alpha Mike Bravo.
Alpha Mike Bravo, go ahead.
And I don't have the field yet. Struggling to find the right base for 26, but I have the traffic. Is it okay if we change that to just, if I can just follow him straight in, that'd be easier for me.
Yeah, Alpha Mike Bravo, if you could just make a left turn right now and follow him straight in. He's about 2 miles final on the straight in.
Perfect. Yeah, we still got the traffic in sight, and we'll just follow him straight in for 26. Thank you. 32.
And now we got Toronto Information Bravo. Why is the Kitchener... Did this not connect? I swear I connected it. Oh well, there it is. It's connected now. Maybe I didn't connect it. It's possible. It's very possible. Yeah, the number of announcements, it's blown me away. Some really interesting, fun stuff. And just today, I probably read the most interesting and exciting one of the whole summer thus far. Just watching this guy land because there's not a lot of space between him and the bonanza behind him. Life Flight 1 Medevac Toronto. Just start looking for traffic. A beach bonanza who's just about a mile and a half final for runway 32. Just let me know if you see him.
Alpha 1 Medevac, that's a negative. Pretty hazy here. What direction field?
Gotcha. Alpha Tango X-Ray, welcome to Kitchener. Left turn at the end. Taxi Charlie, cross runway 08 Alpha to the apron.
Left on Charlie, cross 08, Charlie Alpha to the apron. Alpha Tango X-Ray, thanks for the service.
Alpha Mike Bravo, the traffic's going to exit at the end. Winds 330 at 7, clear to land, runway 32.
Clear to land, runway 32, Alpha Mike Bravo.
And Life Flight 1 Medevac, traffic's almost over the numbers, 32, so spacing should be good. You can continue inbound for landing at the main apron. I'll pass you information about taxiing traffic as you get closer in.
Life Flight 1 Medevac, roger.
Yeah, the one that probably got me the most excited, and I'm super excited about this, is Phoenix made a couple of announcements today. The first is that the update, the long-awaited update, is going to release within the next 2 weeks. The first phase of it is going to be released in 2 phases. The first phase is going to include the performance updates, a lot of the under the hood stuff. It's going to be released in about 2 weeks, and then within the next month or so after that, the second phase, which is going to include the IAE engines and the improved visual model, is going to be released separately. So it's going to be kind of, the update's going to come in 2 major phases, but the first phase is basically complete and ready to be released, and that's why they want to kind of get it out there now. Alpha Mike Bravo, left turn on 26 is approved.
All right, I was going to ask, thank you. We're clear here at 3-2 on 26.
Alpha Mike Bravo, thanks. And you can taxi Charlie Alpha to the apron. Just stay with me. I got a helicopter inbound for the apron as well.
Not a problem. Charlie Alpha to the apron and with you for Mike Bravo.
And Light Flight 1, traffic's no longer a factor. Kitchener wins 3307. Clear to land main apron at your discretion. Don't see a whole lot of helicopter traffic, so it's kind of a nice, nice change as well. Why is this mute button not working now? There it goes now. Sorry, guys, I didn't mean to cough on this. I thought I was going to mute it, and then it just didn't want to mute for me. So I am very sorry for coughing into the mic. But yeah, so yeah, the first update to the Phoenix is going to be released in the coming week or so, which is going to be great, and I really do hope it gives us a good performance boost, because it is one of the things I've been waiting for. I would love to stream the Phoenix with my pilot's life career, but I know that it would not go well. Mostly for performance reasons. The Phoenix is definitely one of the most performance-intensive aircraft in MSFS to date. Mostly because of the extra effort it takes to render those beautiful screens that they have, and they're very well done. But just the amount of processor power that just goes into just making the screen separately and the external program separate from Microsoft Flight Simulator has always made it a bit of a beast on my computer. So it's definitely flyable, but if you throw on top of that, you now throw streaming, which requires real-time video encoding. It also requires running a few extra pieces of software to get the the overlay at the top and everything else going. I just I've been very hesitant and shy to use that while streaming. So now that this release is going to drop, I'm going to play with it. I'm going to test it. I don't guarantee that I'm going to want to stream it, because I may still need to wait for a faster video card, but I think that this will probably put me over the top to the point where it's streamable. It may not be always pretty, and we may get into some slightly lower frame rates in some of the busier airports, but I think we will be able to contemplate a career in the A320, which is good, because Southwest has rejected me as a pilot. So I'm on the hunt for a new airline to work for. I've done 2 seasons of Alaska. It's been fun, but I feel like I've seen enough of Seattle. And Seattle is basically one of the really big hubs for Alaska. So I think I've seen enough going in and out of Seattle, going in and out of Portland. I would like to just again operate just in a different area. So that is kind of my my goal and my hope is to start working for a new airline as soon as I showing 0 output here. There we go. There we go. Now we got the output back. So for whatever reason, the network I'm on, which I successfully streamed for 5 hours last time, seems to be a little bit more fritzy today, and I'm not sure what's going on with that. It's a little frustrating, and but I have noticed that a couple times where it's like it says it's not connected anymore, even though I can seem to access websites just fine. So is it connected? Is it not connected? Not really sure here. I'm just trying to click on some websites, and yeah, no, random websites seem to be loading, so it seems like it's connected fine again. Hopefully this will be not a consistent problem. Hopefully at most it'll be an intermittent problem where we drop the connection a little bit here and there, but looks like somebody else is entering my airspace from the west here, so let's see if we can get somebody to actually call me here, and I'm going to start walloping people who are not talking to me here. Yeah, yeah. So that was the first half of the Phoenix announcement, anyways, and that's not even the whole deal. The other half of the Phoenix announcement that I'm again super excited and stoked for is the fact that they announced that they will be releasing the 319 and the 321 as an expansion pack for the Phoenix. Probably they're expecting before the end of this year. So I have to personally say that I think the 321 is my.
Toronto Center, good afternoon, NL 006 Heavy, level 370, inbound Sierra Mike.
LL 006 Heavy, Toronto, good afternoon, Squawk Cadet. ident. Flash me an ident. Come on, buddy. You can do it. Flash me an ident. Come on. LL006 Heavy, squawk ident. There it is. LL006 Heavy, thanks. I got you now. Flight level 370. Welcome aboard. And A and B, check you're on the blocks. Thank you for watching and thank you for flying. And yeah, feel free to turn around and go back because after you guys landed, it's very quiet. Now I got nothing. Lousy terminal controller hopped on and stole all my traffic. I'm just joking. I would imagine that on a Friday night with a number of controllers sitting here in the Toronto FIR, it's probably going to get busy pretty quickly. I certainly hope so. Toronto never fails to pack them in. So we'll see what happens anyways. Let's see. I don't actually have... Oh, I have one inbound to Ottawa, so I'm going to put up an ATIS in Ottawa. But yeah. Oh, yeah, and then I lost my Toronto ATIS and my Kitchener ATIS for the connection problems there. Hopefully my AFV is still connected, but it looks like it is. Yeah, there it is. Okay, anyways, yeah, so the other half of the announcement was, yeah, the 321 and the 319, which just blew me away. It's like, oh my God, like I can't believe. And then it's not even like, we're developing it. They've kept it kind of top secret under wraps, and it will be released apparently this year. Exact timing, I think, is still to be determined, but they have said before the end of the year they plan to release this, which means that obviously they were working on it kind of in tandem with their updates, which kind of makes sense. Like the 320, there's so much commonality between the families. At the end of the day, it comes to 90% of the differences really between the 319, the 320, and the 321. It's just size. It's just different size fuel tanks, different weights, obviously different external model, but like as far as sitting in the flight deck, I'll tell you this, like half the time you sit down on the flight deck, you have to look at the registration at the tail number to know whether you're sitting in a 320 or 321 or even a 319. Like in this flight deck, they look identical. The only way you might be able to tell right offhand that you're in a 321 is if you look at the fuel page, where they switch the fuel system from the inner outer tank to just one wing tank. That's about the only thing that's kind of immediately obvious in the flight deck between a 320 and a 321. Otherwise, they are practically identical. So certainly from a development standpoint, I'm sure it's not easy, but once the 320 is built, that's half the battle right there. The flight deck is there. In terms of the functionality, in terms of all the systems, you may have to tweak some variables about the systems themselves, but the systems almost all still work the same way, with the exception of like the minor changes to the fuel system. The systems all work together the same way. The FMS is exactly the same, other than just putting in a heavier weight. It's exactly the same. So certainly going from developing the 320 to the whole finishing out the rest of the family, it's not a huge step up, and especially if you've done your homework and develop the 320 in a effective manner that what am I trying to say here? In an effective manner that the differences are not hard coded, that it's very easy to go in and change those particular variables. So, but I'm happy to hear that it's coming out, because I think the 321 is the epitome of the A320 family. As much as it is a pig to climb sometimes, the hauling capacity certainly more than makes up for it in the long run. She could be a real pig to climb when it's hot. There's no doubt about that. Does not perform well when it's hot, when it's heavy, but totally worth it for the extra carrying capacity. And I have to say that out of the entire 320 family, it is by far the nicest one to hand fly, because it's very heavy, it's very stable. It doesn't tend to be displaced too easily by the wind. You kind of put it in a crab and a crosswind, and it just keeps on trucking along in that direction. It does not get displaced by gusts nearly as easily as the 320 or even the 319, which the 319 especially has a very large wing for what is a relatively small airplane. It's the same size wing as the 320 and 321. It gives you a lot more lift. It also has a lot more room to catch the wind when you've got a windy day and you don't have as much weight to counteract the wind and much inertia to counteract the wind. So it's I like the 321 best of all, and I'm very much looking forward to getting my hands on it in MSFS and being able to fly all three of the variants now. The 319, I could honestly do without. It's fun in its own way. It's very speedy because of the fact that there's nothing much to it. There's no weight to it. For the same size engines as the 320, there's no weight to it. It goes a lot faster, performs a lot better. If you want to cover some distance and get to altitude quickly, the 319 is your bird. But yeah, in general, I think the most airlines kind of opted for the 320 and the 321 over the 319 because you're not getting the same level of efficiency. You're still burning almost as much gas at 320, a little bit less, but for quite a lot less load capacity. It's relatively inefficient. Just look at the NOTAMs here for Ottawa. I know there has been construction on 3.2 all summer. It looks like 3.2 is very reasonable as an active runway with the winds 360 at 10. So yeah, we'll throw up 3.2 as the active runway for today. Yeah, we'll do that. And we'll connect the latest for Ottawa. And then I see you guys, you're leaving, pardon me, coming back out of Kitchener and going the other way. Excellent. All right, so let's get you some departure information here. Newbern Akpo 5, yeah, that's all there is to it.
Toronto Center, good day, Charlie Golf Alpha, Mike Bravo, ground Waterloo with Alpha, IFR to Pearson.
Alpha Mike Bravo, Toronto, you're cleared to the Toronto Pearson Airport via the Waterloo 3 departure. Radar vectors Nuber, flight plan route. Depart runway 32, squawk code 0516.
All right, clear to Pearson, the Waterloo 3 departure, Vectorson Nuber, runway 23 for departure, 0516, Alpha Mike Bravo.
Alpha Mike Bravo, that readback is correct. Give me a call, ready for taxi. Information is Alpha.
Good, Alpha, we'll call you ready for taxi, won't be long, Alpha Mike Bravo.
Nice. Won't be long in my airspace either, though. What are you going to do? All right, I got somebody inbound to London. Where are they coming into London from? Pokemon. Pokemon 4 is back. He's going to London. All right, I will put up an ATIS in London then. Let's see what the Woods are doing in London here. 320 at 8. Sure, why not? Seems like 33 is the way to go here today.
Cross Center Golf Alpha Tango X-ray request IFR clearance to Pearson.
Golf Alpha Tango X-ray Toronto, you're cleared to the Toronto Pearson Airport via the Waterloo 3 departure. Radar vectors Nuber, flight plan route. Depart runway 32, squawk code 0517.
ATC clears Golf Alpha Tango X-ray to Pearson via Waterloo 3 departure. Radar vectors to Nuber, flight plan route. Departure runway 32, squawk 0517.
Alpha Tango X-ray, that readback is correct. The information in Kitchener is Alpha, and give me a call, ready for taxi.
Wilco, Alpha Tango X-ray.
All right, so just saw someone log in for departure from Hammer. So instead of London, we're going to put up the Hamilton ATIS here, 3:30 at 7. Also favoring runway 30. Before I put that in there, let's again add to my list of NOTAM searches here, and let's see what's going on in Hamilton. All right, so Hamilton NOTAMs. 0624 appears to have some construction on it. Runway 30, missed approach instructions to read. Okay, that's fine. Bravo closed due to construction. 0624 closed due to construction. It was taxi. Okay, so 30 it is. All right, so let's get out our ground view of Hamilton as well. Good, good, good. We're getting some variety of stuff, and I like it because it's nice when things kind of change at the formula, and you get to do something a little different, think a little differently. All right, so from Charlie to 30, it is open. So the taxi will be that route. We got one more departure here. AML is coming out of Kitchener as well, going to Toronto. Everyone's doing it in a slightly different airplane just for fun. Hey, I like it. It's even more challenging for the controllers that way, trying to sequence different types of aircraft. All right, we're going to do 30 for departure. Monroe 2. He's going to Punta Cana. Punta Cana it is. Oh, and we got somebody venturing into my airspace from the south. Who are you and where are you going? I assume you're an overflight, as is always the case. No, not always the case by any means, but...
Toronto Alpha Mike Bravo, ready for taxi, 32, Alpha.
Alpha Mike Bravo, Toronto, runway 32. The information is Alpha, altimeter 2994. Taxi apron, your discretion. Alpha Bravo.
Apron Alpha Bravo for 3-2, Alpha Mike Bravo.
There is a good scenery, I think.
November 19 Delta Lima, level of flight level 360.
November 19 Delta Lima, Toronto. Good afternoon, Squawk Cadet.
Great scenery.
I do not have that scenery, and I've been kind of thinking about it. Kitchener's not an airport I visit a whole lot, but there it is. November 19 Delta Lima, Toronto. Thank you very much. Identified. Flight level 360. Welcome aboard.
Thanks.
Yeah, it's not one that. I mean, I feel like if anything, I should be grabbing Buttonville first because that's an airport I spend a lot of time at.
Toronto Center Alpha Mike Bravo. Made a boo boo. Sorry, we're getting off the active. My apologies so much.
Alpha Mike Bravo, no problem.
That was
What was I gonna look up now? You guys distracted me. I can't remember now. All right, let's see. That's what I was looking for. Okay. And 3, 4, 5 S's. Are you controlling the event today? There's an event today? I don't know. There's an event? Who knew there was an event? I did not know that. I never know. I come online when I have time, which is I don't see any events listed. Moncton Monday, August 7th. Alpha Mike Bravo, you ready?
certainly ready. Never been on this runway yet today. We're ready to go.
Very good, Alpha Mike Bravo. Contact me once you're airborne. The winds are 330 at 7. Clear for takeoff, runway 32.
Clear for takeoff. 3-2. Contact you in the air. Alpha Mike Bravo.
All right, and we got an Ottawa 8 is going as well here. Good, we got one guy coming out. Yeah, I don't see an event, so if there's an event, I don't know anything about it. FNO. Oh, okay. Unless the Canadian...
Alpha Tango X-ray, ready for taxi.
Alpha Tango, X-ray Toronto, runway 32, information, Alpha and altimeter 2994. Taxi through the apron at your discretion, Alpha and Bravo.
Alpha 2994, taxi Alpha Bravo for runway 32, Alpha Tango X-ray.
I had the vehicle taxiways of some of the miners, including Ottawa. Not usable, but it's neat to have. Nice. In Geo? Yeah, I'll have to look at it when I get a second here. Let's see here. Geo. Yeah. Not probably here though, right? Geo.
Toronto, good day. Alpha Mike Bravo is 12,200 for 3,000.
Alpha Mike Bravo Toronto, thank you. Identified. Climb 7,000.
7,000. Alpha Mike Bravo.
Toronto Center, hello, it's Golf Alpha Mike Lima at Waterloo. Alpha clearance to Toronto Pearson, please. 5,000.
Golf Alpha Mike Lima Toronto, you're cleared to Toronto Pearson via the Waterloo 3 departure. Radar vectors Nuber, flight plan route, depart runway 32, squawk code 0500.
Golf Alpha Mike Lima is clear to Toronto Pearson via the Waterloo 3 departure. Radar vector Nuber, then flight plan route, depart 32, squawk 0500.
Alpha Mike Lima, that readback is correct. The information is Alpha in Waterloo, and call me when you're ready for taxi.
Alpha taxi, Alpha Mike Lima.
Alpha Tango X-ray, are you ready?
Give us 2 minutes, Alpha Tango X-ray.
All right, sure. Alpha Mike Bravo, passing 3,000, turn right.
20 for 220.
And Alpha Mike Bravo, passing 3,000, turn right, direct Rockto on course. Is it Rockto? It is Rockto, right?
3,000, right direct Rockto.
Oh, no, it's not. It's...
Sorry, Alpha Mike Bravo.
And Alpha Mike Bravo, that's my mistake. Actually, it's going to be a direct ICBAT passing 3,000.
All right, ICBAT, that works for me. Thank you so much, Alpha Mike Bravo.
Wrong transitions.
Get the WestJet 806 passing by 130 for 230.
WestJet 806 Toronto, hello. Continue climb. Hold on a second. WestJet 806, continue climb, flight level 330. Located in Geo, huh? All right. Do I have an Ottawa ground view up yet? I don't. I'll have to look it up when I'm going to pull one up in a little bit here for this guy. Might as well pull it up now, I guess. Okay, let's do it now here. So let's get, first I want Ottawa. I don't have Ottawa terminal handy, but there's Ottawa ground. So let's just see. What you've done here. So under Geo, CYOW ground layout vehicle taxiways. Oh, look at that. Oh, that's a lot of little taxiways there. Very fancy. Now it feels like we're operating at a real airport. Now if only there were vehicles driving up and down those real taxiways there. All right, let me.
Alpha Mike Lima, ready for taxi.
Alpha Mike Lima, Toronto, runway 32, information Alpha, altimeter 29904, taxi apron, your discretion, Alpha and Bravo.
Runway excursion, Alpha and Bravo, Alpha Mike Lima.
All right. Pardon me.
Center Alpha Tango X-ray, ready to go now.
Alpha Tango X-ray, amend your departure instructions. Upon departure, maintain 3,000.
Clear to take off, runway 32, Alpha Tango X-ray.
Alpha Tango X-ray negative. Amend your departure instructions for now. Maintain 3,000 on departure.
My apologies, maintain 3,000, Alpha Tango X-ray.
Alpha Tango X-ray, that is correct. The contact me once you're airborne. The wind's 3307. You are now clear for takeoff, runway 32.
All right, now we're clear for takeoff, runway 32. My apologies, Alpha Tango X-ray.
No problem. Expectancy. You hear what you expect to hear sometimes. Oh, we all fall for it. We absolutely 100% all fall for it. I can't fault anybody who falls for it because I do it too. I sometimes expect to hear certain things, and that's all that I hear. For no matter what I'm being actually told, I hear what I want to hear. So, yeah, we're all flawed humans that we like to hear what we want to hear. WestJet 806, proceed direct Canuck.
Direct Canuck for WestJet 806.
All right, so we're going to give him runway 32 for arrivals. And Alpha Mike Bravo, are you parking at the north end of Toronto?
That's affirmative. We're looking for 05 if we can.
All right, Alpha Mike Bravo, stand by.
Roger.
Center Alpha Mike Lima, ready for departure.
Alpha Mike Lima, Toronto, line up runway 32.
Line up runway 32, Alpha Mike Lima.
Alpha Mike Bravo, terminal approves. You can plan runway 05 and maintain 5,000. That'll be the final altitude for today.
At 05, 5,000, Alpha Mike Bravo.
Doesn't like to do the handoffs either. Alpha Mike Bravo, contact arrival now, 132.8.
Bravo 132.8, see you next time. Thanks, Ron.
No problem. See you next time.
Center Alpha Tango X-ray, we're airborne passing 2,500 for 3,000.
Alpha Tango X-ray, thank you very much. You're identified. Continue climb 7,000.
Climb 7,000, Alpha Tango X-ray.
Alpha Tango X-ray, vectors to ICBAT, turn right heading 040.
Right heading 040, vectors to ICBAT.
Alpha Mike Lima Toronto. Contact me once you're airborne. The wind's 330 at 7. Clear for takeoff. Runway 32.
Clear for takeoff, runway 32, Alpha Mike Lima.
Lucas played a squeak toy on the call as you gave me that call. So blame him. I love it. Oh, the worst thing you could do is go flying with your friends because they're just all going to goof around and try to mess each other up. I know because I do the same thing. No respect, I tell you, no respect. Alpha Tango X-ray, direct ICBAT on course.
Direct expand on course, Alpha Tango X-ray.
And Alpha Tango X-ray, are you planning the north end as well?
Yep, that'd be great, Alpha Tango X-ray.
Toronto, Alpha Mike Lima, airborne passing 1,700.
Alpha Mike Lima, thank you. Identified climb 5,000.
From 5,000 now, Alpha Mike Lima.
Alpha Tango X-ray, you can plan runway 05 for arrival.
Perfect, runway 05, thanks, Alpha Tango X-ray.
All right, so what's the speed differential here? It's 100 knots. They've got 10 miles to build that. So what's he got? 3 minutes. He's going to take about, trying to do some mental math here. He's going to take about 5 minutes to do that. Yeah, that actually probably will work out pretty well. Alpha Mike Lima, turn right, direct ICBAT on course.
Right, direct back on course, Alpha Mike Lima.
And Alpha Mike Lima, same question for you. Are you going to head to the north end as well?
That's affirmative, Alpha Mike Lima, no ski.
All right, stand by. I'll see. PIC, sir. PIC. And Alpha Mike Lima, your request is also approved. You can plan runway 05 for arrival.
Alpha Mike Lima, roger, plan 05.
All right, so we got everybody's going to ICBAT here. I should have probably written that in there. Anywho, and looks like the distance is going to be just fine because this PC-12 is way outdoing the the Piper Cherokee. No surprise there. Alpha Tango X-ray, contact arrival now, 132.8. Have a great rest of your flight.
Bravo 132.8, thanks, Rob. Take care.
See ya. All right. So WestJet's going to have to start down here shortly. It's just enough to be interesting. It's not terribly exciting yet, but it's definitely going to get more interesting. We've got quite a lot of departures going here. And, oh yeah, there goes that guy. November 19er Delta Lima, Toronto. You're now leaving my airspace to the west. Cleveland's on online. Switch to the on-route frequency. Surveillance service terminates. Have a great day.
Have a good day.
Where is the FNO anyway? So yeah, we were talking about the FNO. That's passenger interference, 7500. Oh, don't you squawk 7500 on VATSIM. You're going to get yourself banned. Insta-banned. Where is the FNO tonight? Because I have no idea. I don't even know. But I don't control any of the US RCs. I only do the Canadian ones. So I don't, unless we happen to have one of the Canadian ones, which probably isn't. What day is it today? It's the 4th. Sunset in the South FNO. Sunset in the South. Where is this? Obviously somewhere in the South. Carolina Coasts. Join. So Charlotte, Cincinnati, Raleigh-Durham, Savannah, Tampa, New Orleans, and Nashville. Wow. That's a big multi-facility because that's, oh, let me think. That is, that's Indy, Atlanta, Houston, Jacksonville. That is a big chunk of airspace. I think that's what covers all that, right? I think. Oh, actually, RDU's in Washington actually too. Sorry, Charlotte's in Atlanta, but RDU's in Washington. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 FIRs. Nice, nice. You guys got there are 5 artsies. That's a big coverage there. WestJet 806, Toronto, short stay at 330 for you. When ready, descend flight level 290. Information in Ottawa's Alpha, runway 32.
When ready to descend 29 and we have ILS 32 flat.
WestJet 806, thanks. Pardon me. Anyways, what was I talking about? Oh yeah, Phoenixes. Anyways, a long time ago. But yeah, that stuff has me really excited. I am super excited. That is going to be money well worth it. I've been waiting for Phoenix to be able to release the 321 variant. I think the 321 is the most fun variant of all the 320 family. It's definitely my personal favorite. All right, it's probably close enough. Alpha Mike Lima, you can contact Toronto arrival now, 132.8. G'day.
Arrival 132.8, good day, Alpha Mike Lima.
Bingo fuel, Bringo fuel. I thought it was bingo fuel. Bringo fuel followed me several days ago, but bingo fuel would be a good handle as well. I gotta say, like I admire certain handles people come up with. I love the other one. I love ground point 8. I think that's a fantastic handle. You know, you got to be in the business to kind of really know and understand it. But once you are, like some of these ones really just tickle my fancy. These phrases you hear all the time. You don't even think twice about the phrase, but then someone uses it as their handle. I love it, and that's one of the ones I really love. Ground point 8. WestJet 806, continue to send 8,000. The Ottawa altimeter is 2987.
Descend 8,000 WestJet 86.
All right, LL's just about to leave my airspace by the looks of it. Yeah, another 2-3 minutes there, I guess. Should have a couple departures out of Toronto before too long. That'll get some interest going here. We got somebody coming inbound, screaming in from the east here. So definitely stuff is happening, and it's going to get more interesting as the day goes on here. Might take down my Kitchener ATIS and put up a London ATIS soon, depending on if you guys go back or not. We do have quite a few inbounds to Toronto, though, so it is going to be an interesting evening, and Friday's a good evening. We're not really close to the FNO. I mean, the closest sector is Indy with Cincinnati, which is not close. It's in the same general area, but it's not super close. But pardon me. Hopefully we'll get even just like a little bit of echo traffic. Toronto is definitely very popular for that. But other stuff that I really thought was really cool, really interesting. Finally, we have scenery for Montreal. And it wasn't Fly Tampa, which really kind of came out of left field to me. It was MK Studios, which is a developer that I have not really had a lot of personal exposure to, mostly because they dwell mostly on European airports. But now that they are releasing a Canadian airport, that's on my list. As soon as I get a payment from Twitch, which I think is going to come in the next month or so, I'll probably be picking up the Montreal, because I do like to do the Toronto Montreals. It's a nice flight length for simming. It's not very long, but it gives you lots of it's nice scenery today too. I got it today. Very, very good. Yeah. And I mean, MK Studios has a great reputation. So I'm sure, like, there's another studio that I was thinking about this too, like, that has turned out like a lot of scenery in the last couple of years. Like, Fly Tampa has there's a few of the P3D era scenery developers that seem to have fallen off the wagon a little bit, for lack of a better way of putting it, that are not producing scenery as quickly as they used to. And FS Dream Team and Fly Tampa are two of the studios that kind of come to mind when I think about that. And it's not even that they're not producing as much as they used to, but I guess because we had the FSX P3D era was so long, we were used to having quite a large number of sceneries from these developers. So, these good, high quality developers, but very small studios that don't have a lot of people working on it. So it is a long time between their individual releases. And yeah, it seems like they have kind of I won't say they've lost their way, but they still have remained very small. Whereas some studios have really expanded in the MSFS world and increased their staffing, increased the number of developers working there to really help increase their output. MK Studios is one that comes to mind. Another one that comes to mind. Is Any Builds as well. They've just put out tons and tons from what I can tell, I haven't had too much exposure to them either, but good quality scenery, and it's coming fast and furious. So it's good to see it. I mean, at the end of the day, Montreal was one of the ones that was one of the last pieces of the puzzle that was missing in Canada. Now that VATSIM Studios released Calgary finally, it really was. Montreal was one of the last real missing pieces of the puzzle in Canada. With that, I think all of like the top the top 10 airports in Canada are easily covered. I think the only one that might be outstanding that would be in the top 10 at this point, I think might be Quebec City, which I don't believe has any high quality scenery yet. Yeah, I'd say that Canada has kind of finally lucked out. Montreal really was one of the last pieces of the puzzle. It's a bit of a shame that Fly Tampa didn't get in there, and it seems like they had invested and were working on it. They did announce that they were stopping working on it, which is a shame because Flight Tampa does great stuff. They do great scenery. It's a shame to see them have to give up on a project that they've probably at least invested some effort into. But at the same time, like there's no point putting more effort into it when there's already a product on the market. It's not, and it's not to belittle the work Flight Tampa will do because Flight Tampa will put out a great version, but MK Studios probably already has put out a great version. There's not really much room in the market for two great versions of the same airport. I say that, and occasionally it happens, but usually most of the time there's one that's better and one that's not so good. I think if a Field Air is competing with certain airports, Field Air released a Dallas Love scenery. I'm like, who's going to buy that? The only people who are going to buy that are people who just don't know any better. But when Bill Womack released a Dallas Love scenery, that's the one you go buy. That one is worth twice the amount of money. But I guess if people are just looking at the price tag and they're like, oh look, I can get Dallas Love for $10 from Field Air, you're going to get what you pay for from Field Air. You won't even get that much. It's lousy scenery, probably to say the least. All right, I see Pokemon 4 coming here. But yeah, it's a bit of a shame that Fly Tampa was not able to complete their Montreal scenery, but it lets them focus on the other things. But yeah, Fly Tampa and FS Dream Team, two very small studios that have not, it seems like they've fallen a bit behind in terms of their release tempo, and other studios have scooped them now with some of their classics that they had released. So Fly Tampa lost out on their Montreal. FS Dream Team, previously released at JFK and at Houston, and both of those, of course, released by other players. I don't believe that FS Dream Team released at Houston. But yeah, like they lost out on a few of their markets that they've done before just because again, small studios. But then you get these other studios that have really expanded in the era of MSFS, and MK Studios comes to mind, and Any Builds, like Any Builds just turfing the scenery out left and right. Like every month there's a new scenery, there's new scenery out from them. So it's good to see. It's just a bit of a shame at the same time that Flight Tampa has lost out on that. But Flight Tampa has lots of other good products in the pipeline, though. So I'm sure they will still make money in the long run out of these things. All right, I am going to switch this ATIS up. So we're going to take Kitchener down, and we're going to put up London again here. So I had London up. I'm going to put it back up again here because I see the Pokemon coming in here. This guy, whoever it is, has not called me yet. The LL is probably clear of my airspace. LL 006 Toronto, you left my airspace to the east. The Montreal Center is not online. Switch to the en route frequency. Surveillance service terminates.
Upper West 806 Center.
That was for LL 006.
And 006, could you repeat that, please?
LL 006, you leave my airspace to the east and Montreal's not online. Switch to the en route frequency. Surveillance service terminates.
Alright, Toronto Center, Air Canada 617 is with you, flight level 370, 30 miles from 2K.
And Air Canada, sorry, was that Air Canada 617?
A-form.
Air Canada 617, squawk cadent, please.
And identing.
And that is a 6 forecast exit.
Air Canada 617, you're identified flight level 360, welcome. All right, so the terminal controller logged off, so now we're back in charge of the terminal. We don't have, we do have a tower controller at least in Toronto, so that'll help keep some load off here. WestJet 806, which approach did you want for runway 32?
We have the ILS 32 for WestJet 806.
WestJet 806, roger, playing the ILS 32.
Roger, we have the ILS 32 planned for WestJet 806.
All right, ILS it is. No problemo, whatever you want to do, I got it. Just want to know, that's all.
Toronto Center, Air Transit 920 Heavy, radio check.
And Transat 920, reach a 5. WestJet 806, proceed direct VOLAG, descend 6,000.
Say again for WestJet 806.
WestJet 806, proceed direct VOLAG, descend 6,000.
Volag is down to 6,000 WestJet 806.
All right, cool. So we got our terminal back now. Give us a little bit more interest. Yeah, the number of announcements that kind of came out this month was pretty intense. Self-loading cargo finally released an update for the first time in like 4 years, which again, there's another small project with one single developer. So yeah, a little I won't say disappointing, but I liked the product originally. I found it was a little bit performance intense, and sometimes it was a little bit just finicky to try and keep people happy. The smallest thing would set them off, make everybody irate, and you'd never be able to get them happy again. So I liked it, but I got out of using it. I got out of the habit of using it. It was not my favorite software. But now apparently there's a new version that's just been released, so I haven't even downloaded it yet. I'm going to go download that and try that out for a couple days, see if that's any better. Unfortunately, there won't be any flight streaming this week, so this week is going to be another kind of vacation week. Going to be heading out for a little while, so there will not be any streaming this week. Hopefully next week. I have a project I have to do. I have like 2.5 days next week off. I have a project I have to get done. I'm hoping it's only going to take me about a day to do that project. If that's the case, then we should have no problem getting a flight stream in next week. So not this coming week, but the week after, probably on the 15th or 16th will be the next time I have a chance for flight stream, which is one of the reasons why I want to do like an ATC stream as well. I just haven't had much time to do flight
Center,
streams.
Canada 894 through 3000.
Air Canada 894 Toronto, identified, climb flight level 230.
Flight level 230, Air Canada 894.
All right, just need a little bit of information here. Air Canada 894, turn right heading 090.
Right, 090, Air Canada 894.
Because that's one thing is people do not in Toronto, they never reassign the SID. So it doesn't show up for the departure controller, which is very frustrating. It doesn't get confirmed out for the departure controller. The departure controller cannot do anything about it then. I wonder if I do this. If I can just force it through myself. There we go. Air Canada 894, direct dead key on course.
Can you give me the direct again for 894?
Air Canada 894, direct dead key on course.
Direct dead key, Air Canada 894.
Air Canada 617, Toronto, runway 06 right for arrivals to Toronto.
Alright, we're flying on 06 right for Air Canada 617.
WestJet 806, descend 3000. WestJet 806, Toronto, descend 3000.
Down to 3,000, watch it open.
Just pull up that weather again, see where those thunderstorms have made it to here.
Hello, Captain Nabs. Pokemon for flight level 430.
Pokemon 4, Toronto, squawk it in. Pokemon 4, Toronto, thank you. You're identified at flight level 430. Welcome aboard. WestJet 806, Toronto, you're cleared Ottawa Airport, ILS runway 32, VOLAG transition. WestJet 806, Toronto, you're cleared Ottawa Airport, ILS runway 32, VOLAG transition.
That's good for approach ILS2 for what's the ATC?
All right, who else we got here? And Air Canada 894, Toronto, about 40, 50 miles up ahead, there is one or two thunderstorm cells kind of moving south over the lake. I'm not sure if direct Sandon works better for you, if it stays better to stay on course through there. Yeah. Anyways, I should say direct Sandon's available. And Air Canada 894, direct Sandon is available if you'd like it. I am getting through, right? Have I lost my connection to the internet again? I don't think I've lost my
Toronto Center, WestJet 2199, radio check.
WestJet 2199, read you 5.
Roger, WestJet 2199, entering your frequency, flight level 180.
WestJet 2199, Toronto, squawk 0564.
0564, 2199.
Air Canada 894.
Air Canada 894, go ahead.
For giving me a
And Air Canada 894, you were cut off, say again?
you, I think, transmitted a message to me earlier, and then you cut out and disappeared. I was wondering if there was a message for 894.
Air Canada 894, yeah. I think I might be having some connection issues here, but there is some weather just this side of Sandon. I don't know if direct Sandon works better for you, or if you just want to continue via dead key.
It looks not too bad. I think I can continue a direct dead key for 894.
Air Canada 894, roger. If you need any deviations, just let me know.
WestJet 2199.
And WestJet 2199, Toronto, you're identified at 15,000. The Toronto information is Bravo altimeter 29901, descend 11,000.
11,000, WestJet 2199. Actually, is that possible to confirm that the 33 right is serviceable?
And WestJet 2199, I'm not even sure if it's available today. Arrivals are on 06 right for today.
Roger, we're switching for 06 right, WestJet 2199.
Canada 104, currently at 8,000. Climbing 10,000.
Air Canada 104 Heavy Toronto, you are identified. In future, if you read the SID, the top altitude on any Toronto SID is 5,000 for jets.
Apologies, would you like us to go down to 5,000?
Air Canada 104 Heavy, you can maintain 10,000 for now. Turn left direct AVSEP on course.
To left direct, AVSEP on course, maintain 10,000.
Air Canada 894 requesting higher than 230.
And Air Canada 894 is just looking at that climb flight level 370.
Thank you, sir. 370 Air Canada 894.
WestJet 806, Ottawa winds 360 at 8, clear to land, runway 32. Air Canada 617 Toronto, when ready, descend flight level 240.
When ready to descend to 240, Air Canada sit 17.
And then who's this guy? Is this guy just doing like circuits or something? Who's this guy?
To the center, good evening, WestJet 598, passing 1,300.
WestJet 598 Toronto, good evening. Identified, climb 7,000.
Climb 7,000, WestJet 598.
Air Canada 104 Heavy, climb flight level 230.
Climb 230, Air Canada 104.
And WestJet 2199, if it would be possible to get vectors into the 0653.
West.
Tower, this is Air Canada 307, climbing the level 050.
WestJet 2199, yeah, you can plan vectors to runway 068.
Roger, 2199.
Air Canada 2807 Toronto, you're identified at 5,000. Are you going back to the runway heading there, I take it?
Yeah, I'm going back on my route for it.
Air Canada 2807, thank you. Climb flight level 230, turn right direct to Bumpa on course.
Direct Bumpa and 230, Air Canada 307.
WestJet 598, if you can't stop, your climb at 4,000.
4,000, WestJet 598.
WestJet 598, traffic over at your 1 o'clock for about 2 to 3 miles. Should hopefully be turning back to the right, but he's northbound right towards you right now at 5,000.
Yeah, I can see them, WestJet 598.
WestJet 598, I'll have higher once you're past him.
Roger.
Thank goodness at least some of the pilots are paying attention. Some of them are paying attention because not all of them are paying attention. And let's see, Pokemon 4 is going to need about 120 miles to get down, so he's probably going to start down soon.
Air Canada 307 is my direct to NOBEL.
And Air Canada 617, yeah, you should be on the ragged arrival. Do you not have that programmed in?
I have the, yeah, Roger 5 arrival for Air Canada sit 17.
Yeah, okay, Air Canada 617, yeah, that, just continue on the ragged 5 arrival, and I'll have vectors to the final once you get a little closer in.
Roger that, Air Canada sit 17.
All right, WestJet 598, continue climb 7,000.
Continue climb 7,000, WestJet 598.
It would be nice if we had dead key. All I need is a slash and a 05, and it works, but nobody puts that in, so I don't know. WestJet 598, turn right direct dead key on course.
Right direct deck D on course, WestJet 598.
Okay, I got way too many blue lines popping up on my screen here now. And WestJet 1299, descend 8,000.
8,000 for WestJet 2199.
It's a good thing we don't have too much traffic, because people who turn on course without looking and all that sort of stuff just completely throws it for me. Winner of the Turn to On Course Award. Yes, exactly. I'll have lower for him once he's by there. Okay, he's slowly turning, sort of. And Air Canada 2807, are you turning direct Bumpa?
Air Canada 307, Bumpa BAMPA, is that?
Air Canada 2807. No, it's Bravo Mike Papa Alpha Hotel. It should be the end of your arrival. Or the end of your departure, I should say. Did I say arrival? I should say departure. WestJet 598. Continue climb flight level 230.
Continue climb flight level 230, WestJet 598.
Okay, well, at least WestJet's underneath him. It's not so much a problem here. Did the Transat ever start taxiing? Because I did a radio check, and that was all I ever got from it, was a little radio check. All right, now it's starting to get a little bit busier. Yeah, WestJet 2199, fly heading 350 vectors for the ILS 06 left, correction 06 right.
Fly heading 350, WestJet 2199.
Toronto Center, can we get a descent for Pokemon 4? We picked up information, Alpha.
And Pokemon 4, yeah, was just waiting for you to pass by some traffic. They're no longer a conflict. When ready to send flight level 240.
I'm ready to send 240 Pokemon 4.
Air Canada 104 Heavy, continue climb, flight level 360.
Climb flight level 360, Canada 104 Heavy.
Air Canada 617 Toronto, continue descent 12,000, Toronto altimeter 2993.
Alright, continue to descend to 12,000, Air Canada 617.
WestJet 806, welcome to Ottawa, taxi Alpha, apron at your discretion. Have a great day.
Alpha to the apron, 806.
All right, he's going that way. He's off to Vancouver. I don't even have the ground view up yet. I should have this ground view up. Let's get this ground view up. Because someone's going to call me and ask for a taxi at some point and be like, what, who, where? There is a ground controller, but as a tower controller, I still need to know what's going on the ground. So let's get this going. There was a whole wave of departures, and now they're all gone, but I'm sure we'll get another one back. I can't believe it's already been an hour. Where does that time go? You get on VATSIM, you just don't even know where it goes. WestJet 2199, turn left heading 270, descend 6,000.
Left heading 270, and we descend 6,000 feet, 2199.
All right, he's in the gate. All right, lots of stuff going on, nothing too crazy. These guys are pretty well altitude separated here. Just gonna limit some guys. Just their climbs and descents here. And do I have? Nope, I do not. Let's show me London. I need to know what the transitions are for the RNAV 33 in London. And Pokemon 4, it is information Bravo in London, runway 33. Do you have approach request?
We'll get the RNAV Zulu for runway 33 via Purple transition if possible.
Pokemon 4, you can plan on that after Dead Key, direct Kerpo.
After Dead Key, direct Purple, Pokemon 4. And we'll pick up Bravo.
Air Canada 2807, continue climb, flight level, actually disregard. 230 is the top, it's a bit of a low top.
I'm going to continue climbing the 230, Canada 2807.
WestJet 598 Toronto traffic at your 11 o'clock for about 10 miles is a westbound citation. He's in descent to 240. Right now he's passing 38.
Roger, copy traffic. We'll look out. WestJet 598.
And Pokemon 4 traffic over at your 1 o'clock for about 10 miles is a southeastbound 737. He's through 180 for 230.
Traffic inside Pokemon 4.
Roger. WestJet 2199 descend 4,000.
4,021.99.
Just got to say, I love your streams. I don't often manage
And
to
I had
catch
totally no idea there was a call sign called Pokemon.
It's VATSIM. You can pretty much have any call sign you want. Love listening to your ATC videos while at work. Keep it up now. Glad that I provide some kind of gentle, monotonous drone throughout your day, so that just to help put you to sleep while you're at work. I'm here for you. I do my best to try and keep it interesting, and there's enough stuff going on here today to really kind of keep it interesting. All right, these guys are good. WestJet 598, continue climb, flight level 330.
Continue climb flight level 330 with jet 598.
All right, so we got Pokemon's coming across here. He's going all the way over to London. There's his approach right there. Beautiful. WestJet's going eastbound on their way to Montreal. Now WestJet's there. Okay. WestJet 2199, turn right heading 330.
330 to the right, 2199.
I'm glad you do enjoy the streams because I enjoy doing them, and it's nice that we can all share in that. I enjoy the chance to stream and share with the stuff with you guys, and I know that a lot of people do enjoy watching it from time to time. So it's mutually beneficial. I mean, I would still do this if I wasn't streaming, and I do it when I'm not streaming a lot of time too. When I'm just sort of having a bit of a quieter day, and I don't want the stress of actually staring at the camera and talking to people and finding things to talk about.
Excellent day to you, Delta 2239. We're about to enter your airspace. Do you want us to keep on this frequency or revert back to Unicom until we're actually in your airspace?
Delta, was it 2239? I don't see where you are. Give me a little heads up.
Do you want me to give you my current position and waypoints?
Yeah, Delta 2239. Give me a rough idea where you are here. It's just I don't see it on the screen right now.
I am passing over the Kelly waypoint. I'm about, I'd say, somewhat.
Okay, I think I see.
Like a 50 nautical miles or somewhat 80 to the start into Toronto.
Delta 2239, is that you squawking 1530?
That is me.
All right, Delta 2239, you're identified at flight level 370. Welcome. When ready, descend 17,000. Toronto altimeter is 2993.
170, the Toronto altimeter is 1993. Delta 2239, cheers.
And very close, but it's 2993. I don't think you get 1993 on the meter there.
2993, sorry about that.
No problem. Air Canada 2807 Toronto, you left my airspace to the southeast. The Cleveland Center's not online. Switch to the en route frequency. Surveillance service terminates.
So I'm changing for 150.8.
Air Canada 2807 affirmative. Ah, I missed WestJet.
Okay, so have a good day, Air Canada 327, changing for 250.8.
Distractions. WestJet 2199. Turn left heading 150 descend 3000. My apologies.
150 to the left, descend 3,000, 2199.
Pokemon 4 Toronto, continue descent 10,000. The London altimeter is 2998.
Negative 908 and descend to 10,000, Pokemon 4.
Shoot. Ah! Distraction is a terrible, terrible thing in the aviation business. Happens way too often, way too easily, and I hate it. I hate when I do that to people. I don't do it to myself. I do it to them. Like, I feel bad now. Like, I made him fly like an extra 4 or 5 minutes to do this 180-degree turn because I botched the vector to final here because I was distracted by something else. Oh well, what are you gonna do? Just do your best to move on and recover from it. I hate it. I know I could do better. I know I could do better than this. WestJet 2199, descend 3000.
3,000, 2199.
It happens. Don't sweat it. I know. I just, you know, like I pride myself on trying to provide good service to as many people as possible. So it bugs me when I do mess something up. Pretty obvious and just stupid. I knew he was on a base leg, and then I just allowed myself to get distracted. WestJet 2199, continue the left turn, heading 090 to intercept, cleared ILS 06 right.
Continue 090 to intercept, cleared ILS 06 right, 2199.
All right. Air Canada 617, descend 8,000.
Down to 8,000 for Air Canada 617.
Air Canada 894 Toronto, when ready, descend flight level 290.
When ready, down to 290 for Air Canada 894.
I'm not sure if you have the authority to demote my my controller rating. Although if you do, I probably deserve it. It's probably just a little bit tight. I could have given him kind of the right turn, 180 degrees, but that would have been awfully tight, I think, to kind of get him turned back around. S3. Ah, there we go. But it's the S3 I had the problem with. I should keep my C3 and just stop doing terminal duties, obviously, because I can handle the center stuff. I just can't seem to turn people onto final. Oh, mercy. All right, I need this. Toronto wins here. Don't need Ottawa anymore, but I will need Toronto because I got people turning final. Still no outbounds in Toronto, though. I'm surprised nobody's going outbound here. It's not even really that late. It's quite a nice early evening here still. Oh, well. There we go. Air Canada 894. You can now leave my airspace to the east, and the Montreal Center is not online. Switch to the honorary frequency. Surveillance service terminates. Just one piece of traffic for you. About 80 miles up ahead is a Virgin A340. He's at 380, so should not be a conflict. You should pass right underneath him.
Great, I'll watch out for him. Thanks for the ATC. Have a good night, sir. Air Canada 894.
Good night. See, Delta's got, yeah, he's got the link 3 arrival in there, so he should do it all properly. There's information. Bravo Hamilton, Bravo Ottawa, Bravo London, Charlie, Toronto. And Pokemon 4, new 8 is now in London, information Bravo, altimeter 2998.
Roger. Pokemon 4.
Attention all aircraft landing Toronto, new Toronto information Charlie, altimeter Toronto 2993. WestJet 2199, Toronto winds 010 at 17, clear to land, runway 06 right.
Clear to land 06 right, WestJet 2199.
Did the FNO start yet? Are they logged in? Oh, it looks like the FNO started. Oh, yeah, look at that block of airspace there. Memphis Center's in on it too. But yeah, there's continuous ATC across Indy, Washington, Atlanta, Memphis, Houston, Jacksonville, and even Miami's online. Lots of centers, lots of towers and deliveries and everything, and lots of stuff coming in. Raleigh-Durham's got 11 departures. Holy jolly. Charlotte's got 32. Cincy's got 10. Atlanta is not part of the actual event, really, but Nashville. Oh, yeah, Nashville's in Memphis. I forgot that Nashville's in Memphis. They got 23 up. And Tampa, 22 departures. So it's going to be a busy night in the Southeast U.S. with the Fly Tampa, or I mean with the FNO. Air Canada 617, descend 6,000.
Down to 6,000, Air Canada 617.
Pokemon 4, descend 5,000.
Send 5,000 Pokemon 4.
And so the one pilot asked if there are any good solutions for Canadian charts. They're using ChartFox and doesn't have a lot. And I say this time and time again, and anybody who needs Canadian charts, if you don't want to pay for Navigraph, and I do tend to believe that Navigraph is worth it if you're at all into this hobby, if you're at all serious about it. But there you go. But there's some advice. But yeah, flightplan.com, fltplan.com. It's a real world corporate flight planning website. Delta 2239 to send 1,000.
1,000 for Delta 2239.
And Delta 2239, plan arrival, runway 06 right.
Planned arrival, runway 06 right, Toronto, Delta 2239.
Flightplan.com. It is a real-world corporate planning website. So, real-world corporate operators. I use this when I did corporate flying 15 years ago. But I used to make my flight plans with flightplan.com.
Toronto Center, Delta 2239. Just making sure. From my knowing yesterday, the winds were a bit hectic. How are the winds down at runway level today?
A little bit gusty right now. It's been kind of up and down a little bit the last hour or so. Right now, the winds in Toronto are showing 020, 15 gusting 21 at the south end, and 12 gusting 21 at the north end.
All right, thank you very much for your help, Delta 2239.
Everyone's trying to sell them on Navigraph. I think Navigraph is good value. It's not cheap. I will certainly give that it's not cheap. Air Canada 617 to send 4,000.
Down to 4,000, Air Canada 617.
I will certainly acknowledge it's not cheap, and for people who don't have that money. But yeah, flightplan.com. It's a free planning. It's a free website that does basic flight planning for corporate operators, and you can get reasonably realistic fuel burn calculations. But then it also it has advertising for FBOs and whatnot.
2199. Thank you very much for the control. We're on Delta 3 for the gate.
And WestJet 2199, you can cross runway 06 left on Delta 3 and then contact the ground on 121.65.
Cross 06 left on Delta 3 and then contact the ground. Thanks for the control, WestJet 2199.
Thanks, take care. Yeah, so it's got tons of good features. There's a lot of useful features that I used over the years. One of them is planning tech stops. It's really good for planning tech stops. You can put in your origin, your destination, and then it'll show you. You can kind of give it like a limited range, like, hey, we can only make it 1,000 miles on a tank of gas, and this flight's 1,500. So show me possible airports to land at the 1,000-mile mark. You know, within 100 miles of my 1,000-mile mark. So it got customs information. It's just got tons of information in there. Langers 1987 from Scotland. Welcome aboard. Air Canada 617. Turn right heading 330 to send 3,000.
Right to 330 and down to 3,000. Air Canada 617.
Oh, excuse me. All right, requesting for a PDC here in the Hammer. 30, Monroe 2, Thunder Bay, that all seems good. Oh, don't tell me to transmit on that frequency. Oh, for crying out loud, it accidentally transmit on. Yeah, well. Anyways, don't get distracted. Back to the SCADA final. Do I fly in real life? Yes, I do. That's why I do this online. This is my hobby, is being on the other side of the scope. Air Canada 617, turn right heading 030 to intercept, cleared ILS 06 right.
Right to 030 for Air Canada 617.
Pokemon 4, descend 3,000.
Descend 3,000 Pokemon 4.
Yeah, I do fly in real life, so this is why I spend my time. I don't know why I spend my time, my downtime, looking at screens of airplanes. Seems kind of counterintuitive, but anyways. WestJet 598, when ready, descend flight level 290.
When ready, descend flight level 290, WestJet 598.
Nice, commercial or private. I fly for a major airline, so I get paid to actually fly the airplanes. This is just for fun. But it's not just for fun though, too. I mean, it is for fun. But I will say this, like, I have learned so much about how the ATC side of the equation works from VATSIM, because VATSIM tends to be a very realistic simulation of the ATC system. I've learned a lot about how ATC works. It's our passion. We love aviation. Well, that is exactly it. I like aviation way too much. The word you're looking for is nerd. That's the word you're looking for. And I kind of wear that one pretty proudly. I spend way too much time online, both flying and controlling. But it's fun. But I have also learned so much, and it's added to my flying. It hasn't added to my flying abilities, but it's added to the perspective. It's given me different perspective on how things are organized and why things happen the way they do. WestJet 598, Toronto, you leave my airspace to the east. Montreal Center is not online. Switch to the en route frequency. Surveillance service terminates. Have a great night.
Roger, switching to en route frequency. WestJet 598, have a very good night.
Is he turning? Yeah, he's turning. Okay, yep. I actually learned more about flying while studying for my S1, especially when it comes to VFR operations. Yeah, and it is, you can learn a lot. The network is not perfect. It's all volunteers. Most of them are not professional controllers, though there are some professional controllers sprinkled in there. So but there's a lot of very high-level amateur simulations. So you can learn a lot. It's not going to teach you everything, and don't be surprised if some of the stuff is wrong. There are some VATSImisms that are really weird, and there's one of them is this perpetual request clearance to New York Kennedy as filed. No one in the real world says as filed. If you filed it, it's because it's what you want. It's such a it just makes me cringe. It's such a redundant statement. I would like to go to my destination as filed. Well, yeah, that's why you filed it that way. And nowhere in the real world have I ever heard a pilot say that. Request clearance to destination as filed. So there are little, incongruities, with the simulation, but overall you can learn a lot, and it's like anything else. You'll get out of it, you get as much out of it as you put into it and what you're really willing to get out of it. Air Canada 617, Toronto winds 35016, clear to land, runway 06 right.
Clear to land on 06 right, Air Canada 617.
Delta 2239, descend 8,000.
8,000, Delta 2239.
But the same thing could be said for any sim training for an airline pilot too. Like, you will only get out of the sim what you put into it. If you go in there saying, "Oh, I'm just going to play the game. I know exactly what's coming up. I'm just going to do these things and at the exact right moment and everything," you're not going to learn very much from the whole thing. The whole idea is I used to do that back in the beginning. I will admit I used to do it when I first started doing airline level training, and you go in the sim every 6 months and it's nerve wracking. Your job is on the line here. You've got to prove that you still know what you're doing every 6 months. And after the first 2 or 3 years, it started to become so repetitive. I'm like, okay, I know I can do this stuff. I know this stuff. It gets a little easier at that point. But yeah, like a lot of guys will pass around information. Oh, watch out for this. Here's the little gotcha in the sim today, and this and that. The airlines are not out to get you in the sense that they are looking for reasons to fail you and kick you out of the company. They just want you to know these things. They want you to learn these things and remember them. So yeah,
Trying to send Delta 2239. I believe it's vectors for me now.
Delta 2239, AFIRM, you'll be on that 240 track, and I'll have you turn before you reach the end of the star.
Roger that. We'll continue heading in, and you'll let us know. Delta 2239.
Delta 2239, Roger, descend 4,000.
4,000, Delta 2239. Is our descent rate good enough, or are we too high?
Well, Delta 2239, you did kind of miss a couple of altitude windows on the star there. It's not a big deal, but the faster you get down, the sooner I can turn you inbound.
Well, do you mind if we pump it down to 1,800?
Delta 2239, whatever descent rate. There's nobody underneath you right now, so whatever descent rate you want, and I'll get you turned inbound once you're low enough.
Roger that. Delta 2239.
Pokemon 4 Toronto, you're cleared London Airport. RNAV Zulu, runway 33, Kerpo transition.
Cleared for runway 323 RNAV Zulu with that transition. Pokemon 4.
They want to stay professional and proficient, yeah, but you'll hear guys like they'll passing around stories about the gotchas, and I'd almost rather fall for the gotchas because you probably remember them better that way if you fall for them and then learn from it. They're not going to, unless you do something really terribly unsafe. We're all human beings. There are areas of knowledge that are generally weak in the airlines, and that's actually the way the training is designed, is to emphasize those weak areas and give you chances to practice the weak areas. But if you go in there with like, oh, I know all the tricks, I just have to do this at this time, this at this time, this at this time, do you really learn that much? Whereas if you go in there kind of, yes, study the material, know it as best you can, but without knowing exactly what's going to happen when, part of it is just learning to manage that startle of this is not the situation I was expecting. This is not, there's a hilarious, there's a hilarious joke about.
Good evening, Toronto Center. Air Transit 920 Heavy with information Bravo, looking for IFR clearance to Punta Cana.
Transat 920 Toronto, good evening. You're cleared to Punta Cana via the Monroe 2 departure. Radar vectors to Jamestown, flight plan route, departure runway 30, squawk code 0562.
Toronto Center, clear to Punta Cana Airport via the Monroe 2 departure. Expect radars to Jamestown, flight planned route, depart runway 30, squawk 0562.
Transat 920, that readback is correct. Information in Hamilton is Bravo. Pushback and startup at your discretion. Call ready for taxi.
Push at my discretion. Advise ready to taxi. Air Transit 920 Heavy.
Delta 2239, turn right heading 330, descend 3000.
330 would descend 3000, Delta 239.
Air Canada 617, welcome to Toronto. Continue across runway 06 left on Delta 3 and then contact ground 2165.
Course on to Delta 3 and then contact ground on 21.65, Air Canada 617.
And I get people wanting to, kind of put their best foot forward in the sim, but like you'll learn more if you're not expecting things. If things happen, and there's a joke about an airline in I think it was in Japan, where the guys go in the sim for their recurrent training, and sure enough, the engine failure occurs on departure, and the captain turns around to the sim instructor and says, "You failed the wrong engine." Because he knew it's supposed to be a right engine failure, and for whatever reason the sim instructor decided to fail the left engine, maybe just to keep them on their toes, but it doesn't matter. You deal with the situation that's in front of you. Yeah, I used to kind of do that, and I like the little heads up and things like that, but I don't like it anymore. I'd rather go in there, unprepared, not unprepared, but Delta 2239, turn right heading 030 to intercept, cleared ILS 06 right.
030 to, and then cleared to intercept the ILS, runway 06 right, Delta 2239.
Exactly. Couldn't agree more. When the emergencies happen for real, you probably won't see them coming. Exactly. You don't want to see the emergencies coming. You want to be surprised by it, because part of it is learning to manage not just the emergency itself and the situation you find yourself in, but the startle, your personal reaction to it when the adrenaline starts pumping. That's what you've got to be kind of ready to manage as well. So, what I need is a London ground view here. So yeah, I really, yeah, we got really off topic there anyways, but yeah, you get out of the sim what you put into it. If you go in there just like, oh, I just got to do these things, I got to play the game and make it through this and I'm done, you're not going to learn very much. If you go in there with like, okay, I'm going to go and treat this like a real flight from point A to point B, and whatever happens along the way, we're going to deal with it as if it's a real world, and I'm going to, I'm going to use my resources that are available to me. Think about the resources that are available, and how do I get to my destination?
Delta 2239, we have 06 right in visual.
Delta 2239, roger. You cleared visual approach, runway 06 right.
Cleared visual approach, runway 06 right, Delta 2239.
Pokemon 4, London winds 330 at 5, clear to land, runway 33.
Clear to land, runway 33, Pokemon 4.
We got a Toronto departure.
Toronto, good evening. Challenger 357 Lima Bravo at Hamilton with information Bravo, gate number 4. Identifier is 574 Tango. Request a taxi and 180 and no required push.
November 357 Lima Bravo, Toronto. Thank you. The readback is correct. Runway 30 information is Bravo and the altimeter 29903. Taxi through the apron at your discretion. Charlie, taxi down runway 06 and hold short of 30.
Roger, taxi to apron at my discretion, then Charlie, down to check course running 24 and hold short at 30 for November 357 Lima Bravo.
And 357 Lima Bravo, I just want to make sure I heard that correctly. You can taxi down runway 24 and hold short of 30.
Okay, sorry, taxi down 24 and hold short 30 for 357 Lima Bravo.
You got it. Delta 2239, Toronto winds 36019, cleared to land, runway 06 right.
Clear land, runway 06 right, Delta 2239.
So yeah, I guess my point though at the end of the day was that VATSIM is much the same way in that you can get as much out of it as you put into it. Yes, certainly as a pilot, the controllers you deal with will give you probably as realistic an experience as you want in most cases. Now, there are some people who are less knowledgeable, less experienced, pardon me, who may not give you quite that high level of experience, but they'll definitely help you out. And it definitely, yeah, you know, in the real world, there will be new controllers. There was a guy on training yesterday, and we heard his trainer break in and make a comment or a query. I can't remember what it was, but you know, real world controllers, they're in training sometimes too. So, you know, they won't all be perfect. The new guys will not be as with it and as on top of things as perhaps someone who's been doing it for 25 years. But it certainly can be immersive enough to kind of get you through the situations and deal with it. And I enjoy that from both sides, and I enjoy doing it. You know, even when I'm doing some practice, you know, for the real world, I enjoy going on VATSIM and throwing the emergencies at the controllers because I think they enjoy it as well. It gives them something very different to deal with, something different ways to think about things, and it lets me deal with a third person outside the airplane that you know, I have to communicate with appropriately, tell them, communicate my plan of action. It's one thing to sort of say it in theory. It's another thing to really kind of actually do it in person, communicate, this is my plan of action. I plan to do this. And Pokemon 4, welcome to London. You can take the next left turn on Alpha and then taxi Golf to the apron. Have a good rest of the day.
Alpha, then Golf to the apron. Pokemon 4, thank you for your service.
Thank you. All right, so we got Delta's landing here, kind of getting a little bit quiet again here. It was doing pretty hopping there for a few minutes, and now it's gotten pretty quiet. It seems like everyone has moved off into FNO territory. And Toronto's just the outlier of Canada getting some control here, but that's okay. We still have a handful of inbounds.
Toronto Center, hello, KLM 85 Heavy on the lane 3 arrival, Wozy transition, sending through flight level 250 now.
And, sorry, what was the flight number? Was it KLM?
Yeah, KLM 85 Heavy, southeast of Toronto.
Stand by, just got to find you my list here. There it is. KLM 85 Heavy, Squawkadent.
Squawkadent.
.3030 code over here. KLM 85 Heavy, thank you very much. Identified, descending through 240, descend 17,000. The Toronto altimeter is 29903.
On 29993 down to 17,000, KLM 85 Heavy.
Toronto Center, Delta 2239, we're going around too high on the approach.
Delta 2239, roger. When able, fly heading 150, maintain 4,000.
150, maintaining 4,000, Delta 2239, sorry about that.
Not a problem. A little bit of interest in my life. A go around. Okay, sure. We can bring him back around for another go. Yeah, agreed. While VATSIM isn't 100% realistic, it's as realistic as it gets for free.
Delta 2239, just making sure the heading's 150.
Delta 2239, affirmative. 150 whenever you're safely able. Yeah, you know, it's not perfect. It's definitely not perfect by any means, and I'm not trying to claim it's perfect, but it is a useful tool. Getting vectors around into approaches, dealing with controllers, dealing with other airplanes and other pilots, it definitely adds a level of realism. And to me, it adds a level of realism that you just can't beat with these simulations, no matter how realistic they are. I think they were talking about an AI-based, ATC simulation now, where it's going to be streamed out over a network, but instead of having real people, it's just going to be computers controlling the airplanes. I mean, it's possible and it's doable, but it's not. You just
Toronto Center,
can't.
Air Transit 920 Heavy is ready to taxi.
Transat 920, runway 30 in Hamilton. Information is Bravo, the altimeter 2993. Taxi apron at your discretion. Charlie, onto runway 06 and hold short of 30.
Apron at my discretion. Charlie, right into 06, hold a short 30. Air Transit 920 Heavy.
November 357 Lima Bravo. Are you okay with the intersection departure from runway 06? That'll give you 8,000 feet remaining on runway 30.
Yep, intersection is good for the bus.
November 357 Lima Bravo, Toronto. Contact me once you're airborne. The Hamilton winds are 350 at 7, clear for takeoff, runway 30.
Clear for takeoff 357 Lima Bravo.
Delta 2239, turn right heading 250.
250, Delta 2239.
And Delta 2239, I never actually asked, but I assume you want to come back for another approach on runway 06, right?
Yes, sorry about that.
Nope, no problem. Should just confirm it. Make sure we're all on the same page here. All right, so we got 2 Hamilton departures and Ottawa departure. Yeah, so what's
And
this?
this is Delta 2239. We checked the report. Just on final, there was a sudden wind change. Would that explain or the game? I don't know.
Okay, Delta 2239. I copy the wind shear on final. And do you know how much speed you gained or lost there on final?
I lost about like 10 knots somewhat.
Delta 2239, roger. And if you counter it again, let me know.
Will do, Delta 2239.
All right, so that was about 2350 Zulu. All right, so he's taken off. And this F-28 is going to Charlottetown. Yeah, I should actually keep an eye on him, make sure he doesn't start taxiing. Where's my Ottawa? That's got to be him there. Delta 2239, fly heading 270.
270, Delta 2239.
He's making the turn. He obviously read the departure. A little skeptical, but the fact that he read back the clearance makes me think he's going to do everything properly.
Number 357 Leon Bravo, airborne 4,000 feet, needing 260.
November 357 Lima Bravo, thank you very much. Identified, climb, flight level 230, turn right direct Uber on course.
Climb 230 and repeat the heading, please.
And turn right direct Uber on course for November 357 Lima Bravo.
Roger, Director Ruben on course. Uber on course, number 357 Lima Bravo.
Delta 2239, descend 3000.
3000, Delta 2239.
So close. I need him to enter my airspace before I give him any lower. Making sure that guy's not going anywhere without talking to me. There goes Air Canada 104. I got a Winnipegger inbound, probably inbound to Toronto. Yeah, there he is. Air Canada 170 inbound to Toronto.
Good evening, Toronto Center. Canadian 654 is on the ground in Ottawa. Just wondering if you're controlling us tonight or if you want us to do our own thing.
Yeah, Canadian 654. I got your IFR clearance ready to go.
No, Canadian 654. We're ready for that.
Canadian 654, you're cleared to Charlottetown via the Ottawa 4 departure. Radar vectors Avon. Flight plan route. Departure runway is 32. Squawk code 0557.
Clear the Charlottetown Airport. Ottawa 4 departure. Radar vectors Avon. Runway 32 and squawking 0557 for Canadian 654.
Canadian 654, that readback is correct. Give me a call ready for taxi. Information in Ottawa is Bravo. Delta 2239, fly heading 330.
330, Delta 2239.
KLM 85 Heavy, descend 1000.
Descend 1000, KLM 85 Heavy.
Transat 920 Toronto, are you okay with a departure from the intersection? About 8,000 feet remains on 30.
Toronto Center, I would prefer full length.
Transat 920, no problem at all. Backtrack is approved. Contact me once you're airborne. The wind's 35087, clear for takeoff, runway 30.
For takeoff, runway 30, Air Transat 920 Heavy.
Not going to miss the intercept this time with this guy. No, was it this guy or was it the last guy? I think it was the last guy. Anyways. Delta 2239, turn right heading 030 to intercept. Cleared ILS 06 right.
030 to intercept the ILS runway 36 right. Delta 2239.
At Delta 2239, just confirm the runway, it's 06 right.
I was about to correct that, 06 right, Delta 2239.
You got it. Just making sure. Just making sure. I'm pretty sure he knew what he was doing.
And Toronto Center, KLM 85 Heavy, what runway can I expect?
KLM 85 Heavy, runway 06 right for arrivals today. Information's Charlie in Toronto.
Roger, 06 right, ILS, confirm?
KLM 85 Heavy, affirmative, ILS 06 right.
Roger.
I realized that this has been in large mode the whole time. I didn't even notice that. Now it's in small mode. I guess it's going to be a kind of a quiet evening in Toronto. Everyone's going to go play with the FNO people. People all suck. I just get jealous. I just get jealous. In all honesty, it's just stupid jealousy. I like to see as much traffic as I can get, and I get jealous of other airports that are getting more traffic than I am. It's stupid, I know, but I'm a human being, and certainly doing this, the more traffic, the more interesting it gets to a certain point until you become overwhelmed. But for the most part, the more traffic, the more interesting the whole thing. This walker's not taxing out yet, is he? No, don't think so. November 357 Lima Bravo, continue climb, flight level 400.
Continue climb 400 for 357 Lima Bravo.
Okay, just wanted to see what his trajectory was. That's good. Delta 2239. I haven't had any landers since you did your go around there, so I don't know if the wind shear is still there or not. The surface winds right now are showing 360, 12 gust to 20. You're clear to land, runway 06 right.
Clear land runway 36 right, and correction, 06 right, and we'll let you know whether or not it happens once we get lower, Delta 2239.
Perfect, appreciate that. Always love a little bit of interest, some wind shear, some weather. I think we had some adverse weather out to the east, but I think it's almost all moved away from Toronto now. I think it's all, yeah, it's dissipating anyways. It's out over the Lake Ontario. It's dissipating. Not much going on now. Yeah. There was a good storm passed through Toronto last night. We left just in front of it, and it looked pretty intense. And then passed a couple more out near Denver yesterday. That holy jabolies! Talk about lightning. It was dark, and it was just the lightning just didn't stop for the whole time. We went right between two big lines, and it was just lightning both sides of the airplane. Didn't stop for who knows how long. Some really intense weather. We managed to actually find a really pretty good way through it. That was not too much turbulence at all. It was, I think, more luck than anything else. It was a little bit turbulent for a minute or so, but it really was not too bad considering the intensity of the storms on both sides. I was pretty impressed. KLM 85 heavy, descend 8,000.
Descend 8,000, KLM 85 heavy.
Yeah. All right. There we go. For a second, I didn't want to scan through these anymore, but there it is. He's climbing. He's about to land. Transat is rolling. Airborne. Ooh, Boston Center's online now. Good stuff. Boston's online. Get some. Oh boy, it looks like it's crazy down in all of these American artsies, though. It's like the whole southeast corner. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 artsies in the southeast corner, all lit up. And I don't even want to know how many controllers are online right now. It's a lot. We're having a good peak right now. Actually, I might just look this up here just for fun on StatSim and just see what it says right now, because we're statsim.net, because we certainly have controllers online right now, 131, and it's pretty evenly split. 57 towers, 34 Tracon arrival departure terminal controllers, 40 center controllers. Right now it's 101.37, 101 controlling hours per hour, which is down from a low an hour ago of 49. Let's see if we can beat the
Toronto Center, Air Transit 920 Heavy is airborne, climbing through 16.
Transat 920 Heavy, thank you. Identified climb flight level 230. Delta 2239, continue across runway 06 left on Delta 3 and then contact ground 2165.
We'll cross the runway 24 right, 06 left, and then we'll contact ground. We'd like to report that the increase went from knots 19 to 30.
Okay, so a 20 to 30 knot increase in speed on final.
Roger that. That's it.
Perfect. Thank you very much for the report.
And thank you for the ATC service, and yeah, thanks for the go-around service. Delta 2239 over the rating.
No problem. Transat 920, did you copy climb flight level 230?
Center, did you not hear me?
No, I didn't hear the reply. Climb flight level 230, Transat 920.
Flight level 230, Air Transit 920 Heavy.
And Transat 920 Heavy, you can turn left direct Jamestown now.
Left direct Jamestown. Air Transit 920 Heavy.
And KLM 85 Heavy Toronto, that aircraft just landed on your runway in Toronto, runway 06 right, and they did report a wind shear of 20 to 30 knots on final.
Roger that.
KLM 68, correction, KLM 85 Heavy, descend 6,000.
Descend 6,000 to 85 Heavy.
All right, another 5 minutes. Air Canada 104 is going off to Winnipeg. It's a long way sometimes these guys have to go. Yeah, the F&O is dragging everybody in, I think, because we are not getting the traffic I would expect for a Friday night. It's kind of one of
And Toronto for KLM 85 Heavy, what are the winds at Toronto now?
And KLM 85 Heavy, the current surface winds in Toronto right now are 360, 13, gust 18.
Roger, thank you.
Yeah, so 131 controllers online right now. The most active position for the last 24 hours, EDLP tower, 937 minutes. That's almost the full day. That's like 18 hours. I think a full day is 1,440 minutes. So that's like 3/4 of the day. Flights the last 24 hours, 7,931. Currently 839 pilots and 4 supervisors online. Anyone want to take a guess what the most popular aircraft is on the network right now? You get 2 guesses, and you will guess the top 2 probably with 2 guesses. As a center controller, do you dislike it when pilots call you to remain in the pattern? I typically avoid flying in the pattern if only center's online and TRACON is offline, just because I worry that they might be too busy for me. I have mixed emotions about that. Got a handoff here. Yep, Winnipeg sending me this. I have mixed emotions about that. I generally like more traffic personally, but I will not say that like there are days where like yeah, it is more of a pain. I think this is more of a US problem than a Canadian problem because we usually don't have enough traffic where we're so slammed that we can't deal with one guy in the circuit. But one guy in the circuit can be a little bit of a not a pain, but it can push kind of your attention. You're dealing with such kind of bigger picture stuff that yeah, like dealing with somebody in the pattern, it's tough on a center controller, especially if there's not much going on. But I don't mind it, and I certainly won't tell somebody they can't do circuits unless I'm feeling completely overwhelmed. If I've got 20 something airplanes and 10 arrivals all being vectored at the same time, I may reach a point of saturation where I can't deal with it. But I think in the US that becomes more of a problem. In the US, like the controllers get overwhelmed because they show up and all of a sudden they've got 25 airplanes in their airspace that they're trying to deal with solo. So um, I don't dislike it offhand. It might be a little bit frustrating if it's really busy. Like right now, I wouldn't care. If you want to go do pattern work in London right now or Sault Ste. Marie or something like that, even in Toronto, I wouldn't care. There's not enough traffic to really overwhelm me. But it'll be one of the first things I drop, and it is allowed in the VATSIM. I think it's in the code of conduct that if if you're working a higher level position like center, and normally that encompasses handling all the duties of all the positions below you. But if you can't handle, but doing the positions below your position is it is optional. KLM 85 heavy descend 3,000.
Descend 3,000, KLM 85 heavy.
So yeah, if I was working center and there was just too much stuff going on the ground in Toronto, there was no ground controller, I could turf those duties. I could say I don't have time to deal with them. You guys are on your own for dealing with it. I don't like to do that. I would very, very rarely do that, but that, the highest priority is the position you're actually logged into. So if you're logged in the center, it's your highest priority is to handle the center duties. KLM 85 heavy, turn right heading 330.
Right, 330, KLM 85 heavy.
Yeah, exactly. It depends on the circumstances. I would like to do it if I can. It doesn't bug me per se, but there will come a limit that I can't deal with it. It's pretty rare that I've had to say I can't deal with it. I usually just try and keep powering through it anyways. Transat 920 heavy, you're about to leave my airspace to the south. Cleveland Center is not online. Switch to the on-route frequency. Surveillance service terminates. Have a good rest of your day.
Listen to Unicon. Thanks for the ATC. Have a good night. Air Transat 920 heavy.
He's going to have some good service through. I'm gonna guess he's going through Washington Center probably to get to Punta Cana, and then probably going offshore somewhere in Washington Center. So he's going to have some good service once he gets over there. Nobody in Cleveland tonight, but that's okay. Can't all be here every night. Let's see, the Canadian 654 has pushed over there. We'll send Winnipeg. Wait a minute. Why is he at 360? That seems like a Winnipeg problem. Why is he at 360? Air Canada 104 heavy, contact Winnipeg Center now 124.0. Too much talking. I missed it again. Ugh. KLM 85 heavy, turn right heading 090 to intercept, clear the ILS 06 right.
Right heading east to intercept, clear the ILS 06 right, KLM 85 heavy.
Air Canada 104 heavy, contact Winnipeg Center now 124.0. try sending it to him by text because he's not answering by voice. I can't believe I missed the vector again. At least this time he's far enough away that he'll probably recover this one without having to get turned the wrong way. Okay, what else we got going on here? It's been a quieter.
Winnipeg Center 124.0, Canada 104 heavy.
Good day. All right, hopefully he'll get a thing. And hopefully this guy.
Toronto Center, Canadian 654, we'll be short of Bravo, ready for taxi.
Canadian 654, Toronto, runway 32. Information is Bravo, altimeter 29er, taxi, taxi through the apron, your discretion. Hold short of echo for a moment. Let me just check something for you here.
Okay, hold short of echo for Canadian 654.
I don't think that taxiway is closed anymore. It was closed earlier, but yeah, no, it looks like it's all done. Okay, yeah. And Canadian 654, continue taxi, echo, cross runway 07.
Echo cross 07, Canadian 654.
All right, perfect. It was previously closed in Ottawa, so echo between Juliet and 07. Where is it here? There it is. Echo between Juliet and 07 was closed for repaving this year, so everyone had to go backtrack the runway, swing around on Juliet, and come back around again. But now it's not so bad. But I guess they're done the repaving because I don't see any note to him about that taxiway being closed anymore. Air Canada 170, are you with me? KLM 85 Heavy Toronto, the surface winds 360, 11 gusts 17. Haven't had any reports since the last arrival 15 minutes ago. So I don't know the current status of the wind shear, but you are clear to land at runway 06 right.
Copy all, clear to land, 06 right, get him 85 heavy.
Air Canada 170 Toronto, you here?
Canadian 654, we'll be ready for departure.
Air Canada Canadian 654 Toronto. Contact B1C Airborne. The wind's now showing 090 at 3. Clear for takeoff, runway 32.
Call Airborne and clear for takeoff, runway 32, Canadian 654.
All right, he's taking off. These guys. KLM's just coming over the numbers. All right, so my original plan was to stay on until 01 Zulu, so that's another 45 minutes from now. If it stays about the same pace it is right now, I'll probably hop off at that point. If it gets busy, I might stay on longer, as is my tradition in VATSIM, where if you guys sucker me in, I will fall for it. There are a few arrivals into Toronto in the next little while. KLM 85, heavy, welcome to Toronto. Convenient left turn, continue across runway 06 left.
Left turn, cross 06 left, KLM 85 heavy, and I've had no issue with the wind at all. It was quite a smooth pass down.
KLM 85 heavy, perfect. I was just going to ask you that. Thank you very much for the report. Once you cross runway 06 left, call ground 121.65. Have a good night.
Roger, cross 06 left and 121.65, KLM 85 heavy. Thank you, have a good night.
Good night. Cool. All right, so no more wind shear from him.
Canadian 654 is climbing through 1,800.
Canadian 654, thank you very much. Identified, continue climb 13,000.
Up to 13,000, Canadian 654.
Do you have a favorite airport to fly into and out of real life? I have a few favorites. Canadian 654, turn right, direct Avon on course.
Right, direct Avon on course, Canadian 654.
One of my personal all-time favorites is DCA. Just almost always doing visual approaches. I love a good visual approach, and I love a good visual approach, and DCA has some of the really good ones. The turn to final at 300 feet on the river visual 19 is just fantastic. I always enjoy that. That always gives me a real kick. So I do like DCA. Other than that, LaGuardia is also very nice in that it's very scenic, and most of the ones that I do like are usually the scenic ones. I do like the approaches to LaGuardia because they are quite scenic. Not so much the 22 side, but if you're doing the park visual to runway 31, that's a fun one. I really like that one. Yeah, those are some of my favorites. And Vancouver is just beautiful scenery as well, as long as it's not cloudy. Kelowna too is actually a really fun one as well. I like the ones that are challenging and have good scenery. Those are the ones that I really like the most. I do like flying in and out of Toronto because I know it. I know it well. I feel like I know it. I understand it. I understand what's going on in it all the time. Yeah, but yeah, those are my favorite. I think some of the good visual approaches. Ah, too far, too far. There we go. Canadian 654. Continue climb flight level 280.
280, Canadian 654.
This guy's still Nordo. Yeah, those are among my favorites anyways. Just trying to think if there's any other ones that really stand out in my mind. But yeah, the ones in the mountainous terrain, I just love, Vancouver's beautiful. You get a nice sunny day across the mountains, it's absolutely gorgeous. And Kelowna settling right down into the mountains is even more fun. And then yeah, like I said, the Toronto, the New York and the DCA, those ones are fun. Boston's also a fun airport too. There's an airport that's a real study in efficiency, well managed, which is more than you can say for some other airports. There are other airports that are not well managed. Top of my list is San Francisco. That's a nice airport to fly into, but because of the configuration with the very closely spaced parallels and the amount of traffic in and out, there's an unnecessary number of go-arounds because they're always just cutting it too close. And I don't like the airports where they do that, where they cut it too close. I love an airport with a bunch of professional controllers. Newark is top of my list for professional controllers who know what they're doing. They get the job done well. They're overwhelmed with the amount of traffic, and they still get the job done effectively all the time. Boston is in that same boat as just being the ultimate professionalism. It's a lot of craziness going on in Boston, usually intersecting runway operations more than half the time, and it's done very well. Everyone knows what they got to do. They get it done. It's very effective and efficient. And then you compare it to a place like San Francisco that just like they don't reach the same level of professionalism. Things fall apart very easily. and then the controllers all blame each other, but no one wants to take responsibility for the fact that things are falling apart. Yeah. Not that I mind San Francisco per se, but just like, yeah, if you want to talk about, kind of in the U.S., if you want to talk about airports that have, like I said, just poor control in general, things don't go well. Don't go well in a
Canada
big way.
170, sorry for that, I was listening to content.
Air Canada 170 Toronto. Good evening. You should be at an odd altitude for your direction of flight. Do you want to go up to 370 or back down to 350?
I prefer back down to 350, Canada 170.
Air Canada 170, descend, flight level 350.
Descend 350, Canada 170.
All right, at least we got Canada 170 long after he passed his conflicting traffic, but so be it. Yeah. No, I like the ones that have good scenic visual approaches, the ones that kind of test your skill as a pilot. Those are the ones that I enjoy. City, actually, what am I thinking? Toronto City was also just a fantastic airport to fly in and out of. It was tight. It was tight even in the Dash 8, but the steep approach was kind of neat. Once you got the hang of it, though, it was a great airport to fly in and out of. It was definitely you made a good pilot out of you. Those are the people who fly in and out of that airport. The Dash 8 drivers that fly in and out of that airport, among the best pilots probably in Canada in terms of just hands and feet. Day-to-day skills, because every second approach is probably going to be a visual approach with no guide, no approach aid guidance, just PAPIs. Not even PAPIs. They had they had abbreviated PAPIs, I guess. It's been great chatting with you. First, I have to call it night. Next, catch next stream. Yeah, no problem. Have a good night. Thank you so much for the chat, and hopefully we'll catch you next time. And probably won't be until next weekend. I might do another ATC stream next weekend, hopefully. But it's, as long as you're subscribed to the channel, you will know when we're doing it. So have a good night, and we'll talk to you next time. Canadian 794. You're about to leave my airspace to the southeast, and the Montreal Center is not online. Switch to the honored frequency. Surveillance service terminates, and have a great day.
Over Unicom. Thanks for the service. Have a great day. Canadian 654.
Hey, there goes Walker. Walker's taxiing out at long last. We're going to have one departure in here. We're going to have one departure, one arrival, one departure over here as well. He's long gone. He's just got to stay level. See ya. Yeah, those are one of the most fun ones that I do enjoy. Though the good visual approaches where you actually have to test your mettle as a pilot. Yeah, like I always thought that like the Dash drivers that flew into the island were by the most. They had the highest hands and feet skills, anyways, of most pilots in Canada. Because most pilots in Canada, you work for major airlines. Well, a lot of the time you're back and forth between ILS to ILS. 10,000-foot runways. You're not dealing with a 3,900-foot runway without an ILS, where it's just a visual approach all the time. There is an ILS, but they don't like to use it because it impinges upon the traffic flows in Pearson. Like the straight in ILS 08 comes in like this. That's why there's actually this little trapezoid box here exists, is to give a little kind of cutout, a little exception to get the ILSs into 08 at the island. But everyone at the island would much rather do visual approaches because they're usually more efficient than getting long out vectors. There's not enough traffic where you need to get a long vector out behind other airplanes. And yeah, just with the airspace around there, visual approaches are much more efficient getting in and out of the island. So yeah, we used to do that a lot. I do kind of miss that. What we need is a great Dash 8 and MSFS so that we can start doing those approaches again. Majestic, I'm looking in your direction. I don't have any expectations though. It's been way too long. It hasn't been way too long, but Majestic is another one of those studios like I was talking about earlier. It's a very small studio, just one or two or three guys, like very small. So you don't expect fast development from them. They do put out good product. They do a really good product, but it takes a long time for them to get those products out there. And I'm not entirely surprised because it's a very small studio. So it's a lot of work. The Dash 8 is a complicated little airplane. They've done a very good job with the systems programming of it. So. Looks like ground is heading offline as well, so it's going to be just me for now. Yeah, I'm looking forward to the Majestic Dash. I think that'll be the one airplane, that and the 747. And I don't want to do the, and I, you know, I shouldn't say that. I have not given any of the airliners really a solid quality chance after the second aircraft avionics update. I really have not. I have not had time this summer for simming. That is the basic gist of it. If I start up the sim more than twice a week, it's been a good week as far as my simming habit goes because it's just been so much going on this summer between vacation, constant work, and lots of little projects around the house that have to get done while the sun is shining and the weather is warm enough to do them. Between all those projects, I'm not getting a lot of time for simming, which is it's not a bad thing per se. I'm definitely keeping busy doing other stuff, and this is very much more a winter hobby than a summer hobby. But yeah. So I have not even had time to try these things out. I did download the what is it, the Kuro? Is it Kuro? The 787-8 mod for MSFS that modifies this 87-10 and gives you a fully functional 787-8 version. I haven't even fired it up yet. I looked in the menu to make sure that it installed properly, and it appeared to be there, and that was as far as I got with it. I haven't even had the time to think about it. Who's this guy? Flare sneaking in. Flare. Flare is sneaking in on me here. Flare 112. It looks like I got another arrival here, so it's going to get a little bit busy again here. That Flare's going
Toronto
to Montreal.
Center, Walker 2889er Heavy.
Walker 2889er Toronto. Hello.
Hey, did ground hop off, or is there technical issues
Toronto
going on?
Center, good evening, Flare 1112. With you, flight level 350.
Walker 2889, yeah. Ground just hopped off. I think he felt he was put in enough time for the day, so yeah, it's not a technical issue. It's just he's just done for the day.
Copy. Walker 2889er Heavy, holding short runway 15 right.
Walker 2889, continue taxi hotel cross runway 15 right.
Continue taxi cross 15 right. And in Canada, do you group them or do you do single digits?
Walker 2889, sorry, what do you mean for the runways?
No, for the call signs. I know in European countries they go single, and then in American it would be 2889.
Either one is technically correct in Canada. I'd have to actually go look to know 100% which one is correct. I think the grouping is the technically correct one, but I'm not 100% sure offhand.
Oh, okay.
Flare 112 Toronto, good afternoon, Squawk Ident. It's a good question.
Hello, Toronto Center, Pokemon 4 again. Looking for clearance to Kingston.
Flare 112 identified, flight level 350, welcome. Pokemon 4 Toronto. Okay, let me just have a look here. You are cleared to Kingston via the London 2 departure. Radar vectors SICBO, flight plan route, depart runway 33, squawk code 0530.
London 2 departure, vectors to SICBO, Dana en route, runway 33, squawk 0530, Pokemon 4.
Pokemon 4, that readback is correct. The information in Toronto or in London is Charlie. Call me when you're ready for taxi.
We'll pick up Charlie and we'll call you Pokemon 4.
All right, let's have a look here. We got a United flight out of Toronto here, so let's just make sure that we have a look at that. Ursula 4.
Good evening, Toronto Center. United 254 would like IFR clearance from Toronto to Green Bay.
United 254 Toronto, you're cleared to Green Bay via the Ursula 4 departure, Zohan transition, flight plan route, depart runway 05, squawk code 0525.
Cleared from Toronto to Green Bay, Ursula departure, Zohan first transition point, squawk is 0525.
United 254 Toronto, that readback is correct. Information Delta in Toronto. Push and start at your discretion and call me ready for taxi.
push and start at my discretion, and we'll call ready to taxi. Thank you very much. United 254.
Just trying to look up this answer here. Communication.
Toronto Center, Delta 742, will you flight level 380?
Delta 742 Toronto, squawk it in. Delta 742 Toronto, thank you. Identified, flight level 380. Descend 17,000. Toronto altimeter 299.5.
Send down to flight level 170, altimeter 299.
Just trying to answer this guy's question here. Do we have to group? And it looks like the general consensus is, yeah. Walker 2889 Toronto, just for your interest, looked it up, and officially we are supposed to say each number individually.
Aha!
I was not actually certain of that, so at least now I know. You ready to go?
Sure am.
Walker 2889 Toronto, contact me once you're airborne. The Northfield winds 350 at 11, clear for takeoff, runway 05.
Contact when airborne, clear for takeoff, runway 5, Walker 2889 heavy.
Oh, looks like Winnipeg logged off as well again. Oh well. Delta 742, the information in Toronto is Delta, runway 06 right for arrival.
Information Delta, runway 06, Delta 742.
Alright, so we do have a few inbounds here. It's getting a little bit busier again, but I feel like it won't last all that long. There are a handful of inbounds, but I don't think there's enough to really...
Toronto Center, Pokemon 4, ready to taxi, runway 33.
Pokemon 4 Toronto, runway 33. The information in London is Charlie, altimeter 29908, taxi Golf.
Taxi Golf, we picked up the ATC Pokemon 4.
Air Canada 170 Toronto, the information in Toronto is Delta, and plan runway 06 right for arrival.
Information Delta on the plan 06 right, Air Canada 170.
Do you cover Toronto Tower and ground? Yes. Covering Toronto all the way down today, and it's not too busy, so yeah, we can definitely do it. I was about to ask Air Canada 170 if you want to do the RNAV Yankee, and then I see you flying an Air Canada A321. No RNAV Yankees there. Yeah, I think we'll probably pull the plug in about 30 minutes. It looks like we're probably going to have a couple of departures and a couple of arrivals, but not a whole lot of traffic. I got other stuff to do today, so I'm not going to spend forever on this network. The last time I did this, I spent 5 hours on stream, and that was epic, and it got busy. Like, the trouble was it was so busy, I just couldn't bring myself to leave. There was just so much going on. It's like, no, I got to keep going. Today, it's not so much the case. Delta 742, descend 11, 1000.
Send 11, 1000.
Toronto Center, Walker 2889 heavy, climbing through 2000.
Walker 2889 heavy, identified, climb flight level 230.
Flight level 230, Walker 2889er, heavy.
Alright, so he's going to go off that direction in a minute. Shouldn't be a conflict with my inbounds. No problem at all. United's still at the gate. Pokemon 4 is almost there. Pokemon 4 Toronto, contact me once you're airborne. London winds 340 at 6, clear for takeoff, runway 33.
For takeoff, and we'll contact airborne, Pokemon 4.
Walker 2889, turn left direct Ursel on course. So yeah, I say it that way.
Left direct Ursel on course, Walker 2889er heavy.
Yeah, see, that's going to be hard for me to get used to. And I never really looked it up. I never really read that specific paragraph until the guy asked the question. And then the guy asked the question, of course, oh yeah, you know what? It's true. We are supposed to do it the European way. We're supposed to say each flight number individually. That being said, I think 95% of the controllers in Canada do not do that. I think it's pretty rare that you actually see a controller that actually does that. But anyways, here we are. I think we'll have just enough time to get Pokemon 4 over to Kingston and probably round out that time. I might stay on a couple minutes past 1 Zulu, but I'm not going to be staying that much. I'll be kind of looking for an out after that. When it gets a little quiet, I will definitely head out because I spent enough time. And like I said, last time I did, it was just an epic stream. And I was proud to do it and happy to do it. And there was enough traffic to really need it. It just kept on going. I couldn't believe when it was 5 hours. I was like, oh my God, like how did this turn into such a long stream? I kind of planned on it being maybe 4 hours. But then I just kept on going for that extra hour. And that's just the way VATSIM is. It sucks you in. I feel like Delta 742 is probably not going to make the altitude restriction at Youth there. Where did Blair come from? Just curious. Came from Calgary. I guess he took a more southerly route, pick up some tailwinds maybe. Air Canada 170 is inbound from Edmonton. Good stuff. Hayden UK. Hey, welcome to the stream. It's not the busiest evening in Toronto. It's not the worst.
Pokemon 4 airborne, passing 2,000 for 4,000.
Pokemon 4 Toronto, thank you very much. Identified. Climb flight level 230.
Climb flight level 230, Pokemon 4.
Yeah, not the busiest evening here. It's not too bad, but it could be busier. It's the way life is sometimes. You look south of the border, and boy, the FNO is just going insane there. Cincy, they don't have too many departures on the ground right now, but let's see here. Charlotte, they're down to 15 departures, but they also got 10 arrivals on the ground. Raleigh-Durham got cleared out pretty fast. Tampa's got 11 departures. Nashville's got 14. Atlanta, which is not even part of the event's got 11. New Orleans, MSY's got 9. So but there's a lot of stuff in between. It's crazy. Like when you start to do the permutations of how many aircraft are flying between these various airports. It's quite something to see the traffic flows here. It definitely looks like they're having a fun time tonight down in the southeast U.S. with their FNO because it's covering 6 different artsies. Like it's a crazy number. Delta 742 to send 8,000.
Sending down to 8,000.
Toronto Center, citation 172 Lima Golf. I'm about 50 northeast of Detroit, flight level 390.
Pokemon 4, turn right direct Sickbo on course.
Right direct Sickbo on course, Pokemon 4.
Walker 2889er, continue climb, flight level 360.
Flight level 360, Walker 2889er.
Alright, citation, sorry, was that 172 Lima Golf?
Yes, sir, flight level 390, about 60 northwest, or correction, northeast of Detroit.
November 172 Lima Golf, squawk ident. November 172 Lima Golf, thank you. Identified, flight level 390.
Copy, 2 Lima Golf.
United 254 is pushed, so he'll be taxiing shortly. Good stuff.
Toronto Center, United 254, ready to taxi, Toronto.
United 254 Toronto, runway 05. Information is Delta, altimeter 299.5. Taxi out Alpha Juliet, Alpha Hotel, cross runway 15 left and 15 right.
Alpha Juliet and to Alpha Hotel, cross 15 left and 15 right, United 254.
Roger. Air Canada 170 Toronto, when ready, descend flight level 240. Air Canada 170 Toronto, when ready, descend flight level 240.
Zephyr Air Canada 170.
Air Canada 170, affirmative, when ready, descend flight level 240. Runway 06, correction, 06 right in Toronto. I think I said that already. Pokemon 4, continue climb, flight level 370.
Continue climb 370, Pokemon 4.
All right, I'll send it to him via text because he's not getting me via voice here. Got a couple of guys out to the east, though. Are they inbound to me or are they inbound somewhere else, though? No. Air Canada 1103 is Quebec down to Cincy. Quebec, Cincy. Yeah, these guys are all going to Cincy. Okay, no, that's fine. I'm just wondering if they're going to deal with me at all, but they're not. Yeah. There you go. Now he's got it. He needs to do a little better with text. Some people do better with text. It's a little bit easier when you can read rather than trying to listen to my conversation because I assume everyone's pretty experienced. If you're not, I'll slow down for sure. If I see people, especially who've put the comment in their flight plan under the remarks section, you know, new to VATSIM or rookie or whatever, I definitely will try to go a little bit slower for those people. But otherwise, I go full tilt for everybody until I hear otherwise. All right, so another 15 minutes. Yeah, we'll get this guy out of here. Turned on course for sure. Maybe even like half an hour. We'll get Air Canada 170 on the ground. So that'll be about, yeah. Get Air Canada 170 on the ground. Pokemon 4. We'll probably get him cleared for the approach. And once we turf him to Unicom on cleared for the approach, then that'll be probably about the end of the night for me. Got a few other things I'd like to do today before I head to bed. So. But yeah, I think we gave it a good solid 3 hours. I mean, you know, I certainly gave them gave everybody what they pay for, right? Delta 742 descends 6,000.
And 6,742.
Hi. What else was there? So I was also reading about this what's it called? This new world scenery library that Microsoft is kind of putting together, kind of copies the X-Plane scenery, world scenery library. I'm trying to think what they called it even. I can't even think what they called it. I have to look it up here, but yeah, the idea being that like only using stock models that I can't think what the stupid thing's called, but World Hub. So they're calling MSFS is Sobel's calling it World Hub, but basically, if you want to improve on your local airport. Do you have a busy weekend coming up, Captain Nabs? I got to work tomorrow, so that kills most of the day tomorrow. And then Sunday we actually have sim again. So yeah, so it's a little bit of a busy weekend. I've got definitely still got to do a little bit more reviewing. There's a few more things I want to review and study before sim. So it's not like crazy busy, but like it's kind of self-imposed busyness. And then we're probably going to go off on a little vacation on Monday. So a little bit of preparing for that as well. November 172 Lima Golf, when ready, descend flight level 240.
Down at 240 to Lima Golf.
Delta 742, descend 4,000.
Pound 4,000, Delta 742.
So definitely going to be a little bit busy this this weekend. I'm glad you read the checklist manifesto. I thought it was a great book, and certainly it was great for being such a nice short book too. Is the other thing too. It's not a long read, so you get some benefit out of it without investing half your lifetime into reading this book. No, it was a nice, pretty short read. I enjoyed it. I think I learned quite a few things from it. Some very interesting stuff to take out of it. There's definitely some stuff in there that I mean, aviators, we use checklists already. There's no doubt about it, but we almost use them without even thinking. It's what pilots do. We're trained right from the start. This is what we do. This is how we make sure we don't make mistakes and kill people. I didn't think I honestly didn't think I was going to get much out of the book to read it. I read it almost a little bit on a lark. It was given to me as a gift, and I thought it sounds like an interesting book, but it's just one of those ones where like I don't know if I have time for it, so I never really touched it. I think I got it for Christmas, and then I didn't touch it until July. But then I started reading it, and it was actually, it was quite compelling. I really enjoyed it. The story's good. The guy tells some very interesting anecdotes, very relevant, very kind of colorful. He does a great job kind of putting you in the spot there and illustrating his points well, which is great. But then, I think I actually learned some things, some things about, the why do we use a checklist and how do they work and how are they so effective and why are they so necessary? The hows and the whys behind why we use them really kind of made it very interesting. Delta 742, turn right heading 330, descend 3,000.
Right heading 330, Delta 742.
So I learned some definitely some good stuff in there. Stuff that I hope that I'm going to be able to apply in my professional life in the future. So it was definitely worth reading. I enjoyed it. I looked into that book you suggested, Turn the Ship Around, and I don't have Audible, so and I'm not really an audio book kind of person. I would rather read it. I like the tactileness of reading a book. So, but I did look into it, and I maybe my birthday is actually coming up, so I may ask for it for my birthday from some of my family. It's a good suggested gift. United 254 Toronto, contact me once you're airborne. Winds 360, 12, gusts 17, clear for takeoff, runway 05.
Runway 05, clear for takeoff, contact you and airborne, United 254.
Delta 742, continue the right turn, heading 030 to intercept, cleared ILS 06 right.
Heading 050.
And Delta 742, it is the 030 heading for the intercept.
2,500.
I should have Kingston weather. Yeah, we do have Kingston weather. Yeah, I'm glad you enjoyed the book. I did find it a really good read, and I did take your recommendation to heart, and I will probably try and see if I can get my hand on that book. The other one I recently listened to is Cockpit Confidential. I've heard of that one. I haven't actually read it, but I've definitely heard of that one. I've heard it's really good as well. It's an interesting little thing. There's not a whole lot of parts of the world that are very locked up anymore, and the flight deck is one of those few places that is pretty well locked up. But that being said, it's not as far as inner sanctums go, it's pretty, I'd say, obvious what we do there. But it's something that is very well known overall. It's pretty well understood what pilots do, and there's tons of videos out there on YouTube now. In the YouTube era, it's not really very secret anymore. It's very much.
Delta 742, advisory is established 06 right.
Delta 742, roger. Hey. Not too bad.
Good evening, Envoy 3452.
Toronto Center, United 254, airborne at 2000.
All right, there are a couple calls at once there, but I got United 254. You're identified. Continue climb 7,000.
Climb to 7,000, United 254.
And was there another call unanswered?
Envoy 3452.
Sorry, you said you're going to pick up tower? Oh, on the tower. Yeah. Yep, that sounds good. All right. Sorry, I missed the Envoy flight number. Who is it?
3452, 3452.
3452. Okay. Let's see if I can find you here.
I may be in the wrong Indy frequency. I just got handed off from DC.
Oh, if you're down in Indy, yeah, no, this is Toronto Center, so you're you're way off on the wrong frequency. Go back to the last one.
Sorry about that.
No problem. United 254 Toronto, turn left. Left turn, direct Kedzie on course.
Turn left, turn to course, United 254.
November 172 Lima Golf, descend 10,000.
24 for 10, to Lima Golf.
All right. Now he's not doing well, but anywho. So much for maintain 7,000. He had me pretty fooled. I thought he was going to be pretty professional, and then now he's not so much. Air Canada 170, continue descent 12,000. And actually, not making.
Descend 12,000, Air Canada 170.
And Air Canada 170, actually my mistake, descend 10,000.
Descend 10,000, sorry, Air Canada 170.
Hey, United 254, are you leveling off at 7,000? I'm going to guess the answer is no. Thinking about it. Thinking about it. Delta 742, winds 350 at 13, clear to land, runway 06 right.
Clear to land,
Pokemon 4, I have the latest... Sorry, Pokemon 4, I have the latest midnight Zulu weather for Kingston if you're interested in it.
Let's get the weather, Pokemon 4.
All right, Pokemon 4, Kingston weather at midnight Zulu. The winds showing 260 magnetic at 315 miles visibility, few at 4,000 towering cumulus, broken at 13,000, and broken at 25,000. Temperature 21, dew point 19er, altimeter 29er, 9er1.
Thank you so much. Copied all that, Pokemon 4.
Pokemon 4, when you're able, say your requested approach for Kingston. Okay, sorry, yeah, what were we saying here? I think I've become a lot less nervous.
Toronto Center Walker 2889 Heavy, was one of those calls from me?
Walker 2889, nope, you're still good. I think I've become a lot less nervous about my next flight, courtesy of watching streams.
Toronto Center, we'll get ILS runway 19 via 10V transition, Pokemon 4.
All right, Pokemon 4, you can plan on that. And I think he had it in there already, didn't he? He had Penvy. Nope, he doesn't. So let's see, what's he doing? He's on his way to Senlu. And so let's see here. Let's just find the approach. ILS 19. And yeah, there it is. And Pokemon 4, proceed. Actually, stand by. I'll have direct Penvy for you here in just a couple minutes.
Sounds good.
Yeah, I don't even know. Actually, Pokemon 4, you can go direct Penvy right now.
Direct to Penvy, Pokemon 4.
Penvy. All right, so there he goes. He's now direct to Penvy, which is his initial fix for the ILS, which is perfect. Delta should be rolling down the runway here momentarily. We have a London Tower online now. We're about to lose most of our airplanes here, but that's okay. Yeah, so become a lot less nervous about my next flight, courtesy of watching stream. And yeah, and there's so much professionalism and so many things that go into into the flight deck and into the CRM. But I will say this, and I don't want to discourage you, but there is a huge amount of variability into the ability of not even the abilities of pilots. There's a lot of variability in the abilities of pilots, but there's a lot of variability into the culture that goes into the flight deck too. Having worked now at 4 airlines, there's a lot of difference between the culture in the 4 different airlines, and not necessarily in a bad way, but there are varying levels of professionalism out there in the world, unfortunately. Some companies are a lot more professional than others.
Toronto Center, United 254, having a little trouble with our nav system, so we may be off course for a little while.
All right, United 254, I copy that. And what altitude are you climbing to?
Right now we're at 18. We're target altitude is 320.
All right, United 254, because I originally cleared you at only 7,000, but I guess you can keep climbing to 320.
Up to 320. Thank you very much. Appreciate that. United 254.
I don't think he got the hint there, did he? Walker 2889 or heavy. You're leaving my airspace to the west. Minneapolis is not online. Switch to the en route frequency. Surveillance service terminates.
Over to advisory. Thank you, Walker 2889 or heavy.
And I thought
before requesting descent.
Pokemon 4, when ready to send flight level 330.
Flight level 330, Pokemon.
I gotta get it past this guy who is just turning every which way at any altitude he wants. I'm in no hurry to keep him. Yeah.
And Toronto Centre, Delta 742, runway vacated.
Delta 742, Toronto, continue Delta 6 across runway 06 left. And do you have a gate in mind?
We don't have a gate in mind. I'll take anything at this point and continue on Delta 6.
All right, Delta 742. Let's see here. Transporter for Delta. Let's see. We'll give you gate Bravo 14. So taxi Delta 5, cross runway 06 left, Delta Alpha and Alpha Tango for Bravo 14.
So Delta 5, cross runway 06 left, then Delta Alpha and Alpha Tango.
357 Lima Bravo, ready for
Bravo
descent.
14, Delta 742.
Delta 742, Roger. Sorry, who was looking for descent?
357 Lima Bravo.
November 357 Lima Bravo, Toronto. When ready to send flight level 240.
We're already down to 240, November 357 Lima Bravo.
November 172 Lima Golf. You're leaving my airspace to the south. Cleveland Center's not online. Switch to the on frequency. Surveillance service terminates. Have a good night.
Okay, 22-8, so long. Thanks for the help to Lima Golf.
Pokemon 4, continue descent, flight level 240. Pokemon 4, continue descent, flight level 240.
Continue descent 240, Pokemon 4.
November 357 Lima Bravo, you're just about to leave my airspace to the west. The Winnipeg Center's gone offline. Switch to the on frequency. Surveillance service terminates. Have a good day.
Going to the dark side. Thank you for service. Have a great day. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. All right, we got another departure here. Beats 3 era transition. 360 going down to Miami. You'll have to get going pretty quick if he wants me to give him some ATC service, because I am just getting ready to get out of here. Air Canada 170, descend 8,000.
Descend 8,000, Air Canada 170.
All right. So he's turfed. He's on his way to Montreal. Not going to need a descent from him. Don't know who this guy is, but somebody heading to Toronto. Yeah, probably not going to stick around for another hour for this guy. If he just came out of Montreal, it's an hour flight to Toronto. I'm not sticking around for that long for this guy, unfortunately. I will pull the plug here. It's now 0100, so I've reached my
Toronto Center,
target
radio
3
check
hours.
Air Canada 382.
Air Canada 382 Toronto, read you 5.
Okay.
Pokemon 4, descend 4000. Kingston altimeter again, 29901.
Can we get the altitude again? We blocked it.
Pokemon 4, descend 14,000.
14,000, Pokemon 4.
Toronto Center Air Canada 382, at stand 133, information Delta, Requesting clearance to Miami International.
Air Canada 382 Toronto, good evening. Cleared to Miami via the Beats Tree departure, ERA transition, flight plan route. Departure runway is 05, squawk code 056 tree.
Clear to Miami via Beatus 3 departure, ERA transition, departure runway 05, squawk 0563, Air Canada 382.
Air Canada 382, the readback is all correct. Information is Delta. Push back and start up at your discretion and call for taxi.
Pushback on discretion, will call for taxi, Air Canada 382.
I'm also getting a little bit hungry. I'm going to have some dinner soon. It's getting quite late. Yeah, I think we'll get Air Canada 170 and Pokemon 4 on the ground, and then I think we'll pull the plug. We don't have too many other inbounds at this point, so I don't see too much of a point to staying a long time here. I gave it the good old college try. I definitely gave it a couple hours of service here. I don't owe this network anything.
Toronto Center, United 254. We've lost all indication of navigation. We're going to cancel this. We're going to abort this mission.
United 254, Roger. Did you want vectors back to Toronto?
No, we're just gonna reset everything. Thank you very much for the ATC. Have a good evening.
All right, United 254. Sorry to hear that. Have a good night. We'll see you next time.
Roger. Good night. The United 254.
All right, let's see how the network overview is doing here now. It's pretty good. Now there's 132 hours of ATC per hour, 124 total controllers online right now. But yeah, the FNO is definitely pushing it up. There's 801 pilots online, which for an FNO does not sound like all that many. Air Canada 170, descend 6,000.
Descend 6,000, Air Canada 170.
So we'll get the Pokemon across Trenton. We'll get him close to Kingston, clear for the approach, and I think we'll pull the plug then. So in about 10 minutes or so, we're going to pull the plug on this session, which has still been a pretty good session. It's been 3 hours. Yeah. There's only so much I can give. A lot of the pilots sound like they've been drinking. I hope you're talking about in VATSIM and not in real life now. I do enjoy cracking a beer with my Microsoft Flight Simulator, though, especially when we get together and we do some of the fun flying. Air Canada 170, descend 4,000. When we get together and try to do like a bush trip or something like that, I just love to crack a beer and just go look at the scenery and goof around. Yeah, and it's funny because like it's such a complete opposite of the way I treat real life. But I know, there's a difference between reality and simulation, and I'm, certainly take they'll take those compromises and differences. But the other thing too is that like when I am taking it seriously, and when I do go and use like the Microsoft Flight Simulator as a real world training tool and practice exercises and practice failures and whatnot and dealing with them, I definitely do that stone cold sober for sure. Only only for like the goof around type flying where we're just having fun. We're out just cruising around in the Piper Cubs or the Barons or whatever, just having fun doing these bush flights and whatever else is included with Microsoft Flight Simulator. That's when we have some fun. Have I heard about the A2A Comanche? Well, I have heard about it. I haven't actually flown it. I like GA airplanes, but I don't tend to spend my money on them. I have spent my money on a few airplanes actually. I did buy the Just Flight Cherokee in the P3D era, and that was a really good simulation. It was a very realistic simulation. I liked it a lot. It was very, very well done. And I wouldn't mind adding some GA airplanes. The ones that really kind of got me interested are ones that I've flown in the past. So the Pilatus, the PC-12, Sim Skunkworks, I believe, is coming out with a PC-12 very soon. That one has me interested. I would probably consider picking that one up because they have a good reputation. I had the Carenado PC-12, and it was like, I mean, it looked like the PC-12, and the instruments on the inside looked like the PC-12 should look, but it was sort of, somewhat functional. It wasn't great, so I've stayed away from the Carenado stuff now completely. But yeah, that PC-12 from PC-12 from Sim Skunkworks. I'm all over that. I think that's going to be a good one. So I would like that one. I do like some GA airplanes, and I have enjoyed flying. Like for FS Economy, I've enjoyed flying the others. I usually like the faster GA airplanes a little bit. Air Canada 170, turn left heading 150, descend 3000.
Left 150, descend 3000, Canada 17.
I like the included like default airplanes that are just kind of fun to play around with, like the Cub. Just fun to go and do those bush trips low and slow and just like 1,000 feet AGL, just trying to see what you can see. I enjoy doing that. And it's not that I don't enjoy these realistic simulations. I appreciate all the effort A2A puts in, and some of their stuff looks really good. But I just, try, and knowing myself and knowing how much time I have, I'll fly them a little bit, but I probably won't fly them enough to make it worth buying them. Pokemon 4, continue descent 5,000.
Continue descent 5,000 Pokemon 4.
Yeah, I just don't feel like I'm going to get enough. The reviews are saying that it's the most realistic aircraft in MSFS by quite a large margin. It's definitely easier to do the GA airplanes to a much more realistic degree because you don't have the system's depth, so you can really focus on the systems that they do have. It's not they don't have the system's depth, but they don't have as many systems. They're not as complicated. So the systems you do have, you can focus on making them incredibly realistic. And if you can get your hands on the real airplane, so you can test everything and validate everything against the real airplane. Like some of the GA airplanes, they do work out quite nice. Even the default GA airplanes are pretty good because they're simple. There's not a lot to it. A 152 is a very simple piece of machinery. It's not hard to get that simulation pretty accurate. Air Canada 170, turn left heading 090 to intercept, cleared ILS, runway 06 right.
We'll intercept the ILS to 06 right, Air Canada 17.
I can get behind them, but just, yeah, like knowing myself, I probably won't spend enough time in that airplane. I tend to use the sim a lot to kind of simulate what I do in real life, and one of the reasons is because I get a chance to explore airports that I'm not used to going to as a professional, and I can try them out. I know that, for example, we're going to Palm Springs in the sim for a little bit of our training. It's one of the things we're going to fly in the sim. So you know what I'm going to do when I get home, either when I get home tomorrow or on Sunday, is I'm going to fire up the sim with the Palm Springs airport because I do have. Is it Orbex? I think did Palm Springs. I have the Palm Springs airport anyways installed in my sim. I'm going to pull that up and I'm going to be flying the actual airport. And it's great for kind of orientation and seeing where the hotspots are and getting kind of just used to the orientation of the airport and thinking about it being in the airport. It's one thing to kind of look at a chart and say, okay, yeah, well, I see how that all fits together, but it's another thing to actually kind of be in there and looking around and trying to sort of figure out where you are, using that scenery. So I am very much a fan of trying to use that scenery, and I've done that in the past many times when I'm going to new airports I have not been to before. I make sure I have a good copy of that airport, and I go and I try it out once or twice. I do an arrival and an approach in there, do a departure out of there, try and orient myself and understand what it's going to look like and have some expectations. So I tend to fly the airliners partly for some professional orientation. I like the GA airplanes and they're fun and I do use them from time to time, but not enough to probably justify what A2A is charging for their airplane. I don't know what they're charging for the Twin Comanche, but let's just have a look. But I don't think it's going to be enough. Yeah, I can do that, no problem. Just give me 1 second here. Sweet. $49.99. Yeah, see, it's not a cheap airplane. It's not the Twin Comanche. It's a single Comanche. It's not a cheap airplane. Like I do like what they do with these things, and these GA airplanes, they can be quite realistic if you actually put some time and effort into it, as some companies will do with even simulating like the wear and tear on these airplanes. Like I love that idea of how you treat the airplane reflects on how it reacts later. You mistreat the airplane, it's not gonna last. I love that idea. I really do. But I just don't have. I know myself, and I don't have the time to really fly it enough in the sim to really make it worthwhile. And yeah, again, the guys just they did it right off their own airplane too. They own the airplane, so they could do it like everything, like realistic, like record the sounds and see exactly how everything reacts and test it against the real world thing. Air Canada 170, Toronto winds 360, 10, gust 17, clear to land, runway 06 right.
To land, 06 right, Air Canada 170, yeah.
Intel 742 said thanks and have a good night, and thank you, I will, for sure. And you have a good night as well. Pokemon 4 Toronto to send 3000, and you're cleared Kingston Airport, ILS runway 19, Pen V transition.
Send 3000, and we're cleared for ILS runway 19 via Pen transition.
On the center, never mind.
Is this A2A's first MSFS airplane? I guess it is, isn't it? Brand new external aerodynamic engines. Or brand new.
Toronto Center, Air Canada 382 requesting taxi.
Air Canada 382 Toronto, runway 05, information Delta, altimeter 299er6. Taxi Alpha Kilo, Alpha, Hotel, cross runway 15 left and 15 right.
Taxi Alpha Kilo Alpha Hotel, cross 15 left, cross 15 right, Air Canada 32.
Complete physics-based per cylinder simulation of the Lycoming 0540A internal combustion engine. Yeah, like that kind of stuff. Like I love that. Simulates its own wear and tear, that sort of things. Electrical system analyzer and circuit breaker functionality. Interactive walk around with many moving parts can be grabbed, manipulated, inspected. I love it. Night lighting implementation, S-Tech autopilot. Oh, I love those S-Techs. Not. Engine start simulation that physically turns the engine through its compression cycle. Custom oil system with dynamic viscosity and contaminants that degrades and change the color of the oil. Authentic fuel system simulates fuel lines, primers, strainers, fuel contamination. Sophisticated airframe vibration physics with unique ground roll. And yeah, like it sounds like a fantastic, and I would love to give it a try. It just, I don't think it's, like I said, it's not right up my wheelhouse, and it's also just a question of time. I just don't have the time to give to something like that. Not enough to make it worth the purchase price and worthwhile and really do justice to what these guys have done. Version 1.1, yeah, usually the first update comes out after a week. You start giving it to other people, all of a sudden they find all the bugs. They find all the bugs in that first week or so. Yeah, the second and third version won't probably release quite as quickly. Okay, let's see if we can get Air Canada 382 turned on course, and then we're going to get out of here. Flare has already reached the end of my airspace. Flare 112 Toronto, leave my airspace to the east. Montreal's not online. Switch to the honorary frequency. Surveillance service terminates.
Frequency change approved, Flare 112. Have a good day.
Take care. Air Canada 170, convenient left turn off the runway, cross runway 06 left, and where are you parking?
All cross 06 after crossing at gate 170, 170.
Wow, I didn't get any of that. That just sounded like whoa, 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 whoa. And Air Canada 170, sorry, say again the parking? I didn't catch that.
Gate 122, Air Canada 170.
Gate 172, correct?
The gate 122, Air Canada 170.
122. Okay, Air Canada 170. Sorry about that. I just was had a little trouble hearing you there. Cross runway 06 left, taxi left on Delta, right Alpha, enter the apron Alpha Kilo.
On the Delta and Alpha for Air Canada 170. On Alpha Kilo into the map, so Air Canada 170.
Pokemon 4 Toronto, you can go to the Unicom 122.8 for your arrival advisories. I'm going to be logging off shortly, so you can stay there. No need to report down in Kingston. Have a good rest of your day.
Thank you so much. Over to Unicom, and yeah, thanks for the service, Pokemon 4.
No problem. Have a good one. Yeah, I don't know. Should I stick around for this departure here, or should I just get out of here?
Toronto Center, how long are you going to be online? I know that.
Air Canada 382, pretty much I'm just waiting for you to take off and get turned on course.
Well, thank you for that. It kind of takes you.
Just don't take too long.
Center, good evening. Ledger 593 checking in flight level 360, 10 miles east of Tuker.
WestJet 593 Toronto, squawk 0501.
0501, WestJet 593.
It's one of these two guys, but I don't know which. There it is. I guess that answers that question. Ah, for crying out loud! And then the list moves just as you try to tap it. The list moves. And oh, it did get the right guy. Oh, perfect. Oh, love it. WestJet 593. Thank you. Identified flight level 360. Toronto information is Echo. Runway 06 right for arrivals.
06 right, and we copy Echo WestJet 593.
WestJet 593. What's your Mach number?
We're 0.78 right now, WestJet 593.
WestJet 593. I got traffic behind you that's catching up pretty quick. Increase to Mach decimal 80.
Mach 0.81, WestJet 593.
Toronto Center, Sky with 3778, 35.5, climate 380.
SkyWest 37, sorry, is it 3777?
Hey, firm.
SkyWest 3777, squawk code 0520.
0520, SkyWest 3777.
All right, SkyWest 3777, you're identified, and you said you're climbing to 380?
Correct.
Roger. Traffic is 12 o'clock for you for about 7 miles. Same direction, 737. He's level at 360, so you're just going to pass over him in a moment here.
We have him inside, SkyWest 3777.
And WestJet 593, the traffic behind you is climbing up to 380. They're just through 365 now, so speed back to your discretion.
Feedback at our discussion, WestJet 593.
All right, so somehow I screwed up this correlation here, and now it's completely screwed up. Now I gotta somehow correlate this guy somehow, and it's really a pain in the butt to try and do it. All right, the other thing I can do, now I'm trying to do too much, and now I've clogged my Euroscope. No, Euroscope, don't give up. Don't give up. Euroscope's giving up. No. Oh, it was about to crash, and then it didn't. All right, let's do something here first. I have one cheat that I can use here. Boy, it's being really slow. Let's just do this. There we go. Now I can do it. All right. Managed to get to work. Wow. I don't know if the sim's been running for too long. Boom. Just bought the Comanche. There you go. Well, I didn't force you to do it. You did it on your own. enjoy it. It definitely looks like a fun airplane. Don't get me wrong. It's something that I would love to try, but it's not. I just, especially this summer, I know how it's going, and I'm not getting. I don't have enough time. No, I made you. Yeah, I just don't have the time. That's the first foremost. I barely have touched the sim, as I said. Like in the last for the last 2 months, I've turned the sim on probably on average twice a week, which for me is like crazy low. Like it was like it used to be like a daily thing, several times a day. Sometimes it just has been way below that. So yeah, I would not get my money's worth. I don't think out of it. That is my basic assumption here. All right, yeah, this is definitely long enough. I'm getting hungry. It's been quite a long evening. I'm going to get this guy airborne, turn on course, and then I'm going to have to abandon the rest of these guys, unfortunately, but it's just too long. It's going to turn into
Toronto Center, good evening, WestJet 677.
WestJet 677, Toronto.
In Toronto, at gate Charlie 24 with Echo and PDC 571 Sierra requesting push and start.
WestJet 677, that readback is correct. Push and start at your discretion, and call for taxi.
We'll call for taxi, WestJet 677.
Oh, these guys are just gonna just one more arrival, one more departure, just one more, and it's just all of a sudden it's hours and hours later. You gotta know when to make a break for it, and we are reaching that point where I gotta make a break for it. So let's get this guy going here. Air Canada 382 Toronto. Contact me once you're airborne. The wind's 350, gust 19. Clear for takeoff. Runway 05.
Clear takeoff runway 05. Air Canada 382.
Let's get these windows that I don't need closed. And some nice roadways there, Travis. I like it. Don't need Waterloo. Don't need the Hammer. And don't need Londinium. WestJet 593 Toronto, when ready, descend flight level 240.
Flight level 240 when ready, WestJet 593.
All right, yeah, I think we've had enough fun here on VATSIM for the day. Maybe it's just me, but my face is still very dark. I have a light on, like literally right there, like 2 feet away from me, and it's not dark enough to overcome all the brightness behind me here. It's a bright sunny day out there, I guess. I didn't realize how dark it was. I just finally kind of looked at it, like, oh, that is really quite dark. Oh well. Shutting the stream down now anyway, so it's a little bit late for making those kind of judgments. Come on, Air Canada 382. He hasn't even started the push, really. He's just dragging me out, isn't he? He knows.
Toronto Air Canada 382 at 2,900 feet with you.
Air Canada 382, thank you very much. Identified. Climb 15,000.
Climb 15,000 Air Canada 382.
Oh, and now there's departure out of London. Well, at least he's got a tower controller. Air Canada 382, turn right, direct, mobile on course.
Direct, mobile on course, Air Canada 382.
SkyWest 3777 Toronto. We're going to be shutting down now, so you can switch back to the Unicom 122.8 and have a good rest of the day. We'll see you next time.
Unicom, Skywest 3777.
WestJet 593 closing down now. One or two departures out of Toronto right now, so just keep your eye open as you go down, but you can switch to en route frequency, surveillance service terminates, and have a good night.
Okay, what are you going to call me? Probably traffic budget 593. Good night.
WestJet 677. No further traffic inbound for Toronto for the next 5 to 10 minutes, so you should be good for your taxi out. You can monitor Unicom 122.8 and enjoy the rest of your flight.
Order Unicom for WestJet 677. Have a good night.
And Air Canada 322, further climb and navigation at your discretion. Switch to the en route frequency. Surveillance service terminates.
Monitoring Unicom, Air Canada 322. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. For anybody else on frequency, Toronto Center is now closed. Switch to the en route frequencies. Have a good night. All right. And we are done. Disconnected. Out of here. Gone. Closed. See ya. Thank you guys so much for watching. It's been some good conversations. That was a lot of fun. I was not as much traffic as I would have hoped, but nevertheless, we had a lot of time to have some fun chats. So it was pretty good overall. And yeah, stay tuned to the channel as always. Hopefully, I'll have another ATC stream next weekend, and we'll be heading up to Anchorage in my pilot's life career, probably the week after. So not this coming week, but the week after, maybe the 15th or 16th, something like that. We'll head out to Anchorage. In the meantime, guys, have yourselves a great night. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you all on the next stream. And yeah, take care of yourself out there.